lonely stoner seems to free his mind at night. He's all alone through the day and night. The lonely loner seems to free his mind at night. At night.
So wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Get your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Let's have some fun, this beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Let's have some fun, this beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Let's play a love game, play a love game. Do you want love or you want fame? Are you in the game? Know the love game.
I get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
Let's have some fun, this beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Don't think too much, just bust that kick. I wanna take a ride on your disco
I
stick.
get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked out, but I get up again.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
I wanna get numb and forget where I'm from. Cause looking in your eyes, like looking at the sun. I feel like you're the moon, I feel like I'm the one. I wanna get numb, I wanna get numb.
I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. You take your aim. Far away.
I don't wanna know if you're playing me, keep it on the low. Cause my heart can't take it anymore. And if you're creeping, please don't let it show. Oh baby, I don't wanna know.
Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am
Now I ain't been sober. I'm a smoker. When I was drinking, I said I'm on my water. Who can the sober? All I roll when we roll up, just be honest. Now I ain't been sober.
I need something you prove, something stronger than I'm used to. Yeah, I've been pulling 92 on and feel like nothing's gonna cut it. That's the hard truth. When I told her, I said, yeah, yeah. Should've got time to come again. Hey, yeah, yeah. I get so caught up, got you told me, yeah, yeah. Hurry my girls, that's the home. Hey, yeah, yeah. Next thing I do, yeah, I need something you prove. Oh, I need something you prove. Next thing I do, yeah, I need something you prove. Oh, I need something you prove. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ella le gusta la gasolina.
I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, it's like worth living, should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a break to snatch. Cops give a damn about a Negro. Pull a trigger, kill a nigga, he's a hero. Get it back to the kids, to the hell, kids. One less up your mouth on the railroad.
I'm damned if I do give a damn what people say. No deal, nothing I need this shit they want from me. I just wanna say, now I'm
What you know about us? I got what you need. Looking for the story, get what you want. You get what you please. We about to get it on. Take off the drugs. It's just you and me. You know what I be doing. I'm about to go wrong. Cause I like what I see.
California knows how to party. California knows how to party. In the city of LA. In the city of gold lights. In the city of Compton. We keep it rockin'. We keep it rockin'.
I feel bonita.
Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction.
But baby, you hardly even know when I try to show you. Song is meant to keep you doing what you're supposed to. Waking up too early, maybe we could sleep. Make you banana pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now.
That girl is a real crowd, please. Small world, all her friends know of me. Young bull living like an old keys. Quick release the cash, watch it fall slowly.
Waking up too early, maybe we could sleep. Make you banana pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now.
Smoke in the air, binge drink.
Look. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. So what do you say to somebody you hate? Or anyone trying to bring trouble your way? One of his all things in the blood of your way? Just study your tape of NWA. One day I was walking by with a Walkman on when I caught a guy, give me an awkward eye. Strangled him off in the parking lot with his cork and eye.
You stay on my mind, think about you all the time. Got to get to know you well. If you kiss, then I will tell. You stay on my mind, think about you all the time. Got to get to know you well. If you kiss, then I will tell.
I took the walk to Poland. I took the walk to Poland.
Baby, I will fall for you. Make me feel like I'm living a teenage dream. The way you turn me on, I can't sleep. Let's run away and don't ever look back. Don't ever look back.
College educated, she graduated. Any bill she kept from her parents paid it. The show was far, you the only one with a car out your girlfriends. But being that she's a big fan, of course she made it. Most girls wanna hide the fact of the thrill they chasing, but you just wanna get drunk tonight and fuck someone famous. So I just name a time and a place, and your game for it. Value player, hotel room, meet you there.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. So darling, darling,
Baby girl, you know what I want. Let me do it to you, do it to you. Let me do you like Baby girl, you know what I want. Let me do it to you, do it to you. Let me do you like
so darling, darling, stand by me, oh, stand
mercy on your soul.
Do you still want me? Can I be honest? I still want your hands up on. Baby, if you want me, you've got to show me love. Words are so easy to say. You've got to show me love. Can I be honest? I still want your hands up on my body. You still make my heart beat fast. Ferrari with me in the wave, but in the morning I need you to hold on. Baby, please not too far away. Although I should be the one to say we all make mistakes. Take my hand and hold on. Tell me that you need to say. 'Cause I know it's feels to be someone. Feels to be someone.
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand.
When I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. And then it goes back, and then it goes back, and then it goes back. Oh,
I can take myself dancing, and I can hold my own head. Yeah, I can love me better than you can.
Y'all already know who I am. My name's Topher.
Cause I'm a star.
I know you're tired of loving with nobody to love. Nobody. Just grab somebody. Don't live in this party with nobody to love. Nobody.
And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills, where the landslide brought you down. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes older, children get older, and I'm getting older too.
somebody said to me, nigga, why you babysitting? Only 2 or 3 shots. I'ma show you how to turn it up a notch. First you get a swimming pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. Pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. I wave a few bottles, then I watch them all fly. All the girls wanna play, baby, watch. I got a swimming pool full of liquor, and they dive in it. Pool full of liquor, I'ma dive in it.
Up Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks, and I saw your mom. She forgot that I existed, and it's half my fault. But I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. Yeah. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. And I'll dream each night of some version of you.
times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Got shorty, she tryna bless me like I said I do.
When I met you in the summer, to my heartbeat sound, we fell in love as the leaves turn brown. And we could be together, baby, as long as skies are blue. You act so innocent now, but you lied so soon. When I met you in the summer, when I met you in the summer,
And it became personal with me.
you ready? Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. When I bought the ass tomorrow, y'all thought it was rented. Flexing on these niggas, I'm like Papa on the spinach. Double M, yeah, that's my team. Rose, the captain, I'm lieutenant. I'm the type can to make captain grind like I'm broke. That Lambo, my new bitch, she'll ride like my ghost. I'm riding around my city with my hands strapped on my toes. Cause these niggas want me dead, and I gotta make it back home.
I got way too much time to be this hurt. Somebody
Like a lot of
help me
entrepreneurs have
skip.
that fact that you truly just feel different. It's not to be disrespectful towards anyone else, but it honestly feels like you have more inside you than other people have. Like you have that weird gift, that weird potential that you could say, hey, I can do something better than that person can. I don't deserve and I shouldn't be working in that 9-to-5 jobs. I have so much inside that I want to get out. I just don't know how to get it out. And I remember sitting on my college campus bench and the bell rang and every kid was going from class to class, class to class. And there were thousands of kids going from all these different classes. And I sat there on the bench and I just watched them. I sat there and I watched every single student go from different building. And I just thought to myself, when do we learn anything different? If I'm learning the same thing as 15,000 other kids, that means I'm going to have the same result as 15,000 kids.
Makes sense.
And every single kid I know who graduated college complained about their job, wasn't happy with their salary, worked a 9-to-5, had to pay off debt. The only way to truly be successful in life is at some point for you to do something different, for you to stand outside the crowd, for you to say, hey, I don't give a fuck what someone else thinks about me. I'm going to go ahead and do it just because I want to do it.
Yeah, drinking dope, turn me to a superhero, yeah. Hit that pill, turn me to a superhero, yeah. Boom, my 90, turn me to a superhero, yeah. Metro, don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm on that dope again, I'm on that flow again, switch up the flow again, yeah. Fly in the parachute, gripping that pole again, I'm on that all again, yeah. Candy in the cup, gotta get paid, king in the streets, young mage, praying on the crowd, take it to the grave. Ain't having problems, I'm sipping the bar. Shout out to Dallas, my is a star. Get rich, better take it to war. Piss on your casket, shoot at your bra.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are live. Let's get ready to rock and roll on this day. Let's get ready to see what's going to be coming on up. Let's talk about it all, because we got to go over absolutely everything here to make sure that traders know exactly how to be dialing it in, how to know every single move on this day. We got it live on Tradecaster. We're live over on YouTube. We're live over on TikTok today, and we're going to be going live for the next week straight. Every single day here, because this market's hot and we are getting geared up and ready to rock and roll for our Black Friday sale coming on up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday of next week. Traders, got a lot to go over today, got a lot to talk about today. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, make sure you guys smash that thumbs on up. But, I mean, these are the type of days that we're waiting for. So these are the type of days that you lower the blinds out of the window, you lock the door, you keep things on off, you dim the lights a little bit, maybe you want to light a candle. Because it's going to get awfully romantic up in here. It's going to get awfully sexual up in here. You, me, and a webcam. Let's get ready for a huge day ahead. Game time, traders. Let's do this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn off this music right here and we're going to get involved. We're going to talk about what we have on this day, making sure every single person knows exactly what to be looking for. So, I'm going to bring over the morning newsletter. I'm going to talk about the morning newsletter. The morning newsletter is 100% free. I send it out to you guys every single day so that you guys are all ready to rock and roll. And make sure you guys are receiving this. So, let's talk about what this market is calling for today. And it almost makes me laugh. It makes me giggle how hot this market has been, because I am a trader that wants to teach you fundamentals. I am a trader that wants to teach you the right way to trade. I'm a trader that wants to be able to go over absolutely everything and make sure you're growing as a trader. Not being a person that's just saying to themselves, okay, I'm just going to randomly do what this guy does or randomly follow this person. I am a person that says, I don't want to teach chasing. Chasing means buying at the very tippity top. And it just seems like day after day after day, I've been saying, guys, don't chase. But day after day after day, the stock market is moving up higher and higher and higher. So let's talk about what we have today. It says, number one, cool inflation, hot market. Boom. Softer than expected inflation data juiced stock markets on Tuesday, giving the S&P 500 its best day since April. The Nasdaq jumped more than 2%, while the Dow, boosted apart by a strong post-earnings by Home Depot, surged nearly 500 points. Markets are on fire this month, as signs of moderation in the economy have put the chill in Treasury yields and spurred hope that the Federal Reserve is done with rate hikes. The Producer Price Index, another inflation reading, is due out on Wednesday morning, which has come on out, and now we are seeing the market actually turn and drop because of that. So, traders, if you have no idea what's going on, if you're saying to yourself, Dek, I really have no clue of what's going on in the market at this time, really what it comes on down to is this market has been on one of the greatest spikes I have been able to see in my 10 years of trading. Now, I'm going to tell you guys exactly why in just a moment here, but this is one strong bull rally at this time. And it is a big bull rally because traders are essentially saying to themselves, hey, you know what? We are finally done raising interest rates. We've raised interest rates for the last 2 years straight, raised them 13 times. Everything became more expensive, and now we're done raising rates, so everyone's partying, everyone's living it up. But what people don't realize is now we have to hold interest rates at the highest level it's been for at least probably the next 6 to 8 months. So there will be some very significant drops most likely coming on up. It says market briefing this morning. U.S. stock futures ticked higher on Wednesday as traders tried to extend a Wall Street rally from the previous session that was sparked by tame inflation data. Wall Street also has its eyes on Washington as lawmakers tried to avoid a government shutdown. Late on Tuesday, the House of Representatives passed a bill to avert a government shutdown, which could have happened on Saturday. The measure will go to the Senate for a vote. If cleared by lawmakers, the legislation goes to President Joe Biden. Without a funding bill, the federal government is slated to shut down at the end of the week, which is very unlikely, but it's just something that they throw out there. The S&P 500 climbed nearly 2% yesterday, while the Nasdaq Composite popped about 2.4%. It was the best day since April for both indexes, and now the Stock 30 Dow is added nearly 490 points. These gains yesterday came out after October CPI data, Consumer Price Index, a key inflation metric, came in lower than the 0.1% increase economies served for the Dow Jones and expected. Instead, the CPI came in flat on a monthly basis, and investors celebrated the good news, sending stocks soaring up to highs that the Federal Reserve could finally be done raising rates. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we've been able to see, and this is why this market has just been going absolutely bonkers. This market has been going absolutely crazy. Now, someone help me out here. We have now gone from 408 and we have run all the way up towards the price of 450. That is absolutely nuts to think about. Yes, guys, we have moved $42 in the matter of 11 days. That's kind of nuts to think about. Now, this is one of the strongest spikes. This actually is the strongest 7% rally we have ever had in the stock market. There has never been a time that the S&P 500 has moved 7% in a shorter amount of time. Now, a lot of people would say, well, Dek, take a look at the S&P 500. The S&P 500 went all the way from the price of 350 and ran all the way up towards 460. Now, you are 100% true. We did go from 350 and all the way up to 460. But can you guys see the difference? The difference is, here's one large green day, and then we have red day, red day. Here's again Green Day, Green Day, Green Day. Here's Red Day, Red Day. Here's Green Day, Red Day, Red Day, Red Day. Here's Green Day, Green Day, Red Day. Here's Green Day, Green Day, Red Day, Red Day, Red Day. Here's again a very nice spike with red days. Here's very nice spike with pullbacks and gap downs. You know, you could see with every very nice spike, we have very nice drops. With every very nice spike, we have very nice drops. Here's again Green Day, Green Day. Here's a red day. But here's a Green Day. Here's a red day. Here's a Green Day, Green Day, Green Day, Red Day, Red Day, Red Day. So what's the difference right now? The difference is when we take a look over here, it is Green Day, gap up Green Day, gap up Green Day, gap up Green Day, gap up Green Day, Green Day, Green Day, Green Day. Here's a gap up with a red day. But then it's Green Day, Green Day, gap up with the Green Day, gap up. And, you know, so you could see there's a massive difference from what we have seen in the past to what is actually happening right now. This is a wonky market. This is not anything that I usually would ever want to say go buy calls. I kind of feel like I've been like the idiot in the room over the past week because you know why? I always will preach. Traders, never, ever, ever chase. This market is going to make people rich, and it's going to take everyone's money away very soon. It's a very sad thing. This market right now, 99% of new traders are going to win at. And you know what? I'm very happy for them. But 98% of them are probably going to lose their entire accounts in the next few days. And the reason why I say this is because the number one problem, the number one issue that new stock traders make is that they go ahead and chase plays. Oh, Dek, the SPY is spiking. I want to buy it. So it goes up, it goes up, it goes up. Then if you're not in on it, you feel like you have FOMO. New traders say, wow, the stock market's spiking so high. That guy made money, that guy made money, that guy made money, that guy made money. And guess what? Now you buy in at the very high. Now, in most cases, when you buy in at the very tippity top, you are the last person in on it. And then guess what? It usually starts turning and dumping. So if I had to draw this out just to kind of make sure everyone understands it, usually this is where successful traders are at. Successful traders see that the market is turning on up. Successful traders are going to be buying down here, right? You buy here, you buy here. You could even buy it possibly like when the market's falling. The market's falling and you start saying, hey, you know what? I want to get in on some entries. I think we're going to get a dip buy soon. You buy here and here. Successful traders are buying near the bottom. Traders that are new, wait until we see very big spikes. After we see a very big spike, now a new trader says, okay, a big spike just happened. I feel good that I'm ready to buy in on it. But really, once a big spike happens, it already has happened. And guess what happens? Now we usually see it turn back on down. And this is why you always hear the saying of new traders saying, every time I buy into a stock, it always goes against me. Every time I jump into a play, it always goes the opposite way. Well, yeah, because you're buying at the very tippity top. You're waiting for a visual cue of, okay, there's a big breakout. Now let me buy after the big breakout has already happened. But in this case, in this market, what's happening? We are having a very big spike and traders are saying, okay, hey, we have a very big spike. Let me jump in on this play. They jump in right here and it actually is going up even higher and going up even higher and going up even higher. But this is going to start making a lot of bad habits. A lot of traders are going to get caught in the future because they feel like it's now okay to buy after an 8% move in the stock market and think that the market's going to go up even higher. If you guys have made money over the last few days, that is incredible. And all I want you guys to do is make money. That's all I want you guys to do here. But I do want you guys to realize that this is not a normal market. And yes, pretty soon we will be seeing this sort of move all the way back on down. So the S&P 500, as we had Green Day, 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 one red day, Green Day, Green Day, Green Day, and now a gap up to another Green Day. Just even saying that doesn't even make any sense to me, right? But as I stated, I kind of feel like, I'm taking crazy pills over here because I keep saying this and the market keeps going up higher and higher and higher and higher. So what did I do yesterday? Yesterday, if you guys are not here, I was able to make $3,500 just by doing scalps. Now, what do you mean by scalps? Scalps means I get in and I get out. So you guys can see I didn't jump in and hold all yesterday. I jumped in and I made $1,400. Got in and out. This was from 10:03 to 10:08. That was a 5-minute trade. Then I jumped in from here, 11:57 to 12 o'clock. Made in 4 minutes, $750. Here was from 12:01 to 12:08. another 7-minute trade right here. This play was again $1,300. So I was able to make some trades right here, made $3,500 in gains yesterday, which was incredible, but it's still not my big profit. I want this when it starts turning all the way back on down. So let's start reading this game plan out loud to everyone, right? Let's start reading this game plan out loud. Let's talk about it, because traders, I'm here right now doing all of this live to help you guys on out. There's nothing that I'm saying here to hurt your trading. I'm only trying to improve your trading. I'm only trying to make you a better trader. Now, I know, sometimes I'll say, hey guys, get ready for a possible drop. And there might be someone on the call side be like, nope, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Guys, keep going on up, because they don't want them to sell. They don't want to see it fall. They don't want to see it drop. So the thing is, I'm always not trying to be emotional in any way. I'm trying to throw out all biased opinions out and just talk textbook related, talk fundamentals, talk actual real here. So what do we have here? It says, these game plans that I write out every day are getting harder and harder to write because the stock market seems to have a mind of its own. I've always been taught to stay away from chasing. If you chase, you will lose. This has been my mentality for years, but traders have chased the spike on the SPY and are winners at this time. Unfortunately today, guys, I cannot alert any calls. I can't alert any call contracts for you guys today. I don't mind doing quick scalps on calls, but I will not say buy on these highs after a $42 spike, after nearly an 8% climb in the matter of 11 days. Here are some stupid, crazy facts about the S&P 500 at this moment. Stupid, crazy fact number one, the SPY's up $42 in 2 weeks. The SPY is now up 8% in 11 days. The SPY has never had this quick of a 7% spike in history. Kind of crazy, right? So those are some nuts facts that you guys, of course, can be aware of. Now, when we take a look at this, it says, I will be leaning towards puts all day. We may see a morning spike to 453, which would be best case scenario before puts, but I have to be a textbook trader. I have to follow true strategy and not this wonky, never before seen market. So team, as of course we are getting ready to rock and roll here, we are taking a look at this current market and seeing where we're at. Now, you guys can see the market actually was moving itself on up, and then we actually started seeing a little bit of a crack of this trend line. What started happening here? What happened on this crack at this moment? Well, we did have PPI data. Yesterday we had CPI data. Today we had PPI data, which came on out, which did start turning the market slightly and start leading towards a little bit of a drop here. So let's actually, again, head on over to CNBC here for a second. It says stock futures gain after more encouraging inflation data as rally continues. So we do have October's producer price index, PPI, which measures wholesale prices, fell by 0.5% to mark its biggest monthly drop since April of 2020. Not all the economic data was positive, however, since retail sales also declined. So yesterday we had great CPI data, which led to this, massive spike. Now this PPI data with a little bit of negativity is bringing a drop. Now, obviously, the big question is, what are we going to do today? The big question is, what are we going to be getting ourselves involved in today? The big question is, where is this momentum going to take us on this day? So when I take a look over on the S&P 500, the best thing that we can possibly do is switch on over. I'm going to turn off after hours here because I really don't care about after hours right here. I'm going to go over to a larger time frame of a 60-minute time frame. I'm going to say where we're at right now, right next to 450 natural resistance. And I know 450 is going to be a resistance line. 450 is going to be a strong resistance line. Let me just put a red line right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to scroll back and we're just going to look for where in the past do we have a right around 450 or slightly above 450. So you guys can actually see right here, we have 451. There's an old high. Let's just put this in the blue so we know that this is kind of like where we might run up to today. We might run up to 451. Let's scroll on back a little bit more. Here's a 451. Here's a 451. Here's a 451. And then this top right here, this is at 453. Let's just put this into purple here for a second, just so we kind of know that's our top area. So we have 451, which makes a lot of sense. 451, 451, 451. Here's again a 453. Let's keep scrolling on back. Red is where we're currently at. Here's another 451. Here's a 451. Here's a 451. Here's again a 452 next to 453. Here's again a dip buy back on down near that blue line of 451. Here's another dip buy next to 451. Here's a top at 451, 451, 451. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that blue line is kind of the perfect area? I mean, right now, guys, we're all the way back into July 14th. Top, dip buy, dip buy, dip buy, top. We're all the way back in July over here. So it seems like to me, here's an old top back in September, that 451-ish mark would be pretty solid. And you could see we even kind of got up towards that area, at the start here. Dek, what are you thinking? What are you kind of leaning towards at this moment? Let's go back over to a 2-minute time frame. This is kind of where I'm at. I would like to see it back up near this blue line. This is probably what I'm going to do, traders. Okay, this is probably what I'm going to do today. I have 2 different accounts. I have my larger account and I have my small account. What I want is I want to be able to nail this reversal. Okay, I want to be able to nail this top. I want to be able to nail this pullback. I want to be able to nail when this thing starts dropping all the way back on down and we start getting all this weakness. Okay? Now, how are we going to do that? Well, I do believe that we are next to the top. I do believe that we have a lot of room to fall. I do believe that this can get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker, and we may have 1, 2, 3 red days coming on up. So what we could ask ourselves at this time is we can do the same day expiration. There's nothing wrong with same day expiration. But if you have a small account, I'm actually thinking about maybe saying, all right, Dek, let's do a Wednesday of next week expiration. Why would I want to do a Wednesday of next week expiration? Well, this gives me time. If I think that maybe 451 could be the top, and we have gone on the last 11 out of 12 days have been considered green with this very nice spike, or 10 out of the last 11. I do think that in the next either today, tomorrow, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, we should get some sort of big pullback. We should get some sort of big drop. We should be able to see a lot of weakness. What I would like to do is get some sort of put contract on my small account near 451. If it breaks 451, I think the absolute tippity top would be up near around the 453 mark. What I think could be a very smart way to trade this would be we wait at the start of the day for some sort of spike. If it gets up near 451, we can definitely do some entries right away. If we break 450, once we go underneath 450, that's kind of like a sign to enter. But that's going to be tough to kind of figure out the exact moment on a small account. So what I'm really doing, let me draw this out for every single trader. Let me draw this out here, is I think the best way to trade this stock today, or trade the ETF, the S&P 500, would be right here is 450. Okay, we're going to say 450 is right here. Put this on a line across the board. All right, awesome. Now, the S&P 500 is going to be opening up right at this area. Here we have, again, 451. I think the best way for us to be able to trade this play today is, number one, we don't jump in on it right away. Let's wait until we get a back above 450. Once we get above 450, it kind of turns everything into green lights. Okay, so we are ready to rock and roll now once we get a back above 450. We could start turning anytime from above 450 and start getting the crack and the drop all the way back on down. So if we go up to 450.40 and we start falling, the moment we go back underneath 450, I do think that's where we start seeing some weakness. So what I would like, obviously, is I would like us to be able to maybe bounce a little bit, go up to 451, try to get that nice spike. We can look to enter near 451 or maybe even a little bit higher. And then that's the area that I would like to be able to hold. Now, if you don't enter up high, wait until the crack of 450. And once we crack 450, that's where I think we have all this momentum towards the downside for us to be able to make a lot of cash and for us to be able to make a lot of money. So it's basically like once you get above 450, I think the trigger is set where it's like, okay, it needs to hold 450. Once we fall back underneath 450, that's where I think there's a lot of weakness. So right now the S&P 500 getting a little bit of a rally right here as we kick things on off. Traders, we got about a minute until the market opens on up. Let's get ready for an absolutely awesome day ahead. Obviously so excited on this day. I'm looking forward to this day, and I know you guys are as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys are watching over on YouTube right now, go ahead and smash that thumbs on up so that you guys are all set, ready to go. That's all I ask for. If you guys think I'm laying out a good game plan and giving you guys some good value, smash that thumbs on up so that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll over on this day. And we'll again get some tunes going in the background right here, getting this party started. Everyone watching today, we welcome you. We love you. Awesome, awesome work here today. Woo! So fired up here at this moment.
Hi, this is Arnold.
So we're going to be having ourselves an absolute blast today. Seeing where this momentum is going to take us. S&P 500 already kicking some things on off at the start here, traders. So the S&P 500 up towards getting that 450-ish mark. Let me get, again, my small account up and running here. But how do you guys like the game plan today? If you guys like the game plan, if you guys like the idea, can I get a good old Dekmar trades? Ah! Woo-hoo-hoo! Ah! If you guys are feeling good today. Only if you're feeling good. I know, again, I came to you guys with a lot of information today. Just because I want you guys ready. That's all. So I just want to be ready. S&P 500, SPY. Probably going to do same-day expiration on my bigger account. We could look for put contracts. Strike price, probably 450 is fine. I'm probably going to be starting with like 50 contracts. And, you know, that would be like my first kind of idea if I want to get involved over here. All right. Awesome, awesome work. Now, again, my small account traders, small account, which is only, you know, $1,000. I am looking for, I'm thinking probably buy, probably do like 10 contracts. And I would be looking more for like next Wednesday's expiration and try to hold for a drop. I don't know exactly when to pinpoint this exact high, but I do think on a small account, if you're looking to grow it, there's a great opportunity that in the next 1, 2, 3 days, that we will be all the way back on down to 448, 446, 444. There's a great opportunity that we start getting weaker. So I would love for this to keep on spiking higher and higher, get up to 451, get up towards, again, 452, and then I can go ahead and pull the trigger. I'm probably going to be having a strike price, though, just so I can afford more shares, a little bit lower, probably on down towards 446, looking for the put side, and yeah, we'll keep our eyes peeled on this. You know, it'll be something along this lines for a small account. Small account will be something along these lines. We'll just kind of put that in the bottom right now. And we'll be watching this to see if we can break the VWAP. So right now we're looking to see, can we break the VWAP? Can we break the VWAP? Can we start ripping and running? Can we be able to get this momentum on up? And seeing where this is going to be taken, be going towards next here today. Also, again, over on TikTok, shout out to you guys. I'm sorry, I do not know what the donations mean. Someone, again, donated a donut to me. I know, again, there's that NPC stuff going on, and I'm not going to pretend to eat a donut, but I appreciate the donuts. I mean, donuts are sick. I appreciate it. You know, shout out to you for donating a penny or whatever it may be. Maybe tonight I'll write out like a little list of things I'll do whenever, again, you donate a donut or a penny, or I always hear people say, oh, a galaxy. Oh, galaxy. Thanks for the galaxy. We'll figure it out. We'll get after it here. So, traders, we're working our way on up here. We're working ourselves on up here. Also, little heads on up, traders. If you do or do not know, next month is a huge month. Next month, we're moving into December, baby. So we are moving over into December, one of the biggest times of the year. And why is that? Well, guys, I'm a huge Christmas guy. Absolutely huge. We got 25 days of giving away coming on up. Last year, we gave away over $20,000 in prizes. We gave away cash money. Biggest cash money we gave away was $4,000 cash. We gave away a trip to Las Vegas, where I, again, paid for their hotel and their stay. We were able to give away different tickets. So, guys, we like to treat our members, give you guys spas, and make sure that you guys are all good. So, one of the big gifts that I gave away last year was a back massage from me, and the person never showed up. So, you know what? We're going to throw that back in the list this year. But if you guys are looking for something like that, where you guys can say, Deck, I want to take our mentorship to the next level. I want to take this mentorship to hand-on-hand contact. December is your place to go. Let's get ready to go. 4 minutes into the market. Let's deck the halls. Doing some technical analysis on these charts in December, baby. S&P 500 holding on up strong. Guys here, still popping on up. I like the pop right now. I like the pop. And we know that 451 mark is going to be an absolute great area. Deck, are you going to jump in at 451? I think I'm going to give it at least a test at 451. If we get near 451 and then back underneath the VWAP, I'll probably jump in as well. Because again, with the bigger account, at least I can go ahead and give it some tests. Like, you can give it a try. You know, smaller accounts are more difficult because you only get one chance. You get one option. So right now, team, we are all set, ready to go here. VWAP areas 450.40. High of the day, 450.64. Not really that high of the day number I'm looking for just yet. And again, the big thing right now is just patience. Man, I'm just so fired up to be here with you guys. I know you guys are, again, you know, could do anything else in the world. Anything else in the world, but you guys are here with me at this moment. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. You're a very special person. Absolutely beautiful, stunning, lovely, charming, handsome, suave, tall, great set of hair, in great shape. Ladies flock to you. Men just want to be with you. That's the type of person you are. So right now the S&P 500 at this moment. Dek, how you feeling today? How you feeling this morning? Let me try to put it into words like this, maybe ways that you guys can understand. Right now, the way I'm feeling, the only way I can picture it, I've closed my eyes and I'll just let my mind explore. Right now, again, the way I'm feeling kicking off this day, I feel like I'm 8 years old at this moment. And it's halftime at, you know, my soccer game. And I'm really parched. Just scored 3 goals, the starter, obviously. And now, again, you know, my mom came on over with orange slices, and all the kids are cheering, orange slices, orange slices. And I'm just grabbing, again, the juiciest orange slice I can, and I'm just sucking on that thing. And it's just a whole bunch of orange juice all over the place. Everyone's having a good time, and my body's getting rejuvenated. And just feeling absolutely great with the electric lights. And now I'm about to go into the second half and score a goal. Probably, again, get carried away on the team's shoulders. That's how I feel at the moment. That's how I feel. It's a good day. 937 in the market. S&P 500 right here. Feeling great. Feeling great. Guys, S&P 500 underneath the VWAP does lead towards a little bit of that scariness. Underneath the VWAP does lead towards a little bit of that weakness, so just be careful on that. And for anyone that's saying, man, Dek, last 30 minutes, I just got a ton of information. Over the last 5 minutes, I've been giggling a little bit, figuring out what the heck's going on here. It's my first time here, and all I can say is buckle in. Welcome to the show. All right, buckle up. You just, again, absolutely opened up a brand new door of your life. Make sure if you guys are watching over on YouTube right now, you're smashing that thumbs on up. NVDA getting very weak. Also, Zach Hopper letting us know that Michael Barr is going to be speaking once again today. That is not Michael Barr. This looks like Bill Nye's the Science Guy's lost cousin, you know, Dr. Henry. But thank you again, Zach Hopper. If you guys are interested, just drop the link over there. Right now, we do have the S&P 500 getting a little bit closer. Let's see if we get that rejection right next to that 451 mark. Right now, we are staying patient. Guys, any news at 10 o'clock today? Do we have any news at 10 o'clock? That's obviously what we want to be looking at. Any sort of news at 10 o'clock. A lot of times, the 10 o'clock data is what's going to shift this entire market. This week's major U.S. economic reports and Fed speakers. Scrolling on down here, Wednesday, 10 o'clock. We do have business inventories. Fed Vice Chair for Supervision Michael Barr testifies to House panel. So we are getting a little bit of movement at this moment. Little bit of hype. And there's part of me that wants to at least give it a chance. You know, there's part of me that wants to give it a chance at you know, near this 451 mark. We just came up to 450.75. 450.75, and that could honestly even be a great entry. That 450.75 mark before things start turning back on down. You know, sometimes, again, when you have a little bit of a bigger account, you can go ahead and take a little bit more chances. Okay, let's see if that's the high. Oh, that's not the high. Get out right away. Okay, jump in. Is that the high? Okay, that's not the high. Get out right away. 450.75 so far. Nice little area. Think about maybe actually, you know, jumping in on a smaller contracts and seeing if this is going to be able to hold on up. If we go back underneath the VWAP here, traders, 450.75 definitely could potentially be that high. So again, things are getting a little bit weaker at this moment. Still, again, starting to drop. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going to give this a chance on my first little trade here, just in case 450.75 is the high. I'm going to do some small entries here in case things do start turning. So if we again stay underneath, stop loss for me will be if we get back above 450.75. This is my bigger account, and I am just doing a small entry to kind of start off with. Small entry to start off with. I just want to see if it's going to crack underneath the VWAP and if 450.75 is going to be able to hold on up. Hey, if I can make a free $200, $300, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But I am going to place a stop loss right at the high of the day. Most I'm willing to lose on this play is like 200, 250 bucks, right? So, you know, but what I do like is the opportunity of hitting 450.75 and falling all the way down to 450 or even cracking 450 and making a couple free dollars right at the start right here. So we know, again, 451 is going to be the potential high. 451 is the potential high. But when we're talking about an ETF, that is the top 500 companies in the United States, 450.75 could be that potential high area. It's a nice natural resistance line right underneath that 451 mark. Gonna give it a chance. Gonna test the waters here, team. Gonna give it a chance. If I can make a couple bucks, awesome. If I can't, hey, no worries. It's basically what I have right now. It's a small risk with a little bit of a larger reward. So we are getting a little bit of this crack here. See if this thing can just keep on fading and falling. Same day expiration. See if we can go underneath that 450 mark and just, you know, crack all the way on down, make some free money on this play. Currently up $234. I'll probably lock in a little bit, probably next to 450. Lock in a little bit of gains. Oh, guys, getting a little bit weaker. Lock it up right here. Guys, boom, $322 in profit. All right, guys, $322 in profit, just like that. And now, again, Deck, why'd you lock in? Just in case we get a little bounce off that 450 support line. So there's a little bit of a bounce right off again, 450 support. But nice little trade right there to kind of kick off our day. So nice little trade right there. Start kicking off our day. Deck, what about small account wise? Small account wise, this is the trickiest part on the small account. We want to try to nail the high. Do we want to jump in right now? 450.75 was the high. We are again going to, this is it. Or do we want to wait for maybe like until this afternoon? Do we want to wait until it falls throughout the day, then start swing trading it tonight? Because remember, we do have November 22nd expirations. November 22nd expiration, I would personally say don't pull the trigger just yet. I would personally say let's still see if we can get that spike on up for the small account. So we're all set, ready to go at this moment. William Chammy just donated $2 over in YouTube. So William Chammy didn't leave a message, just put a little heart and a 1 and a little balloon. But William Chammy, shout out to you, buddy. I appreciate the $2 donation. What I'm going to do with this $2 donation, guys, for anyone who does not know, is I'm going to take this $2. I'm going to go to a bank, ask for them to take out a loan to multiply it by 10,000. That's going to give me $200,000. Then I'm going to put a house deposit down on a future Airbnb. After I get the future Airbnb, it's going to generate anywhere between $4,000 to $5,000 per month. I'm going to pay off the initial $200,000, remortgage, refinance it. Now I'm going to be able to have $400,000 to spend with, go get another Airbnb, and be able to do the same process over and over again, all starting from this $2 donation. I'm probably going to be able to make roughly anywhere between $1.5 to $1.6 million. Shout out to William. Shout out to, again, your $2 donation. I'm now a multimillionaire. Traders, let's get ready for a big day ahead. So, let's go here. Let's do it. Nice little bounce right back on up. And that's the thing, guys. Usually, right, S&P, Deck, how much was your contract before? My contract to be able to make this 322 bucks was $5,000. So I invested $5,000 to make that 322 bucks. So right here, S&P 500, obviously keeping our eyes peeled. Ready to rock and roll. We're coming back on down to 450. I have a feeling, though, guys, 450 is going to be a little annoying. Does anyone else feel like 450 is going to be a little annoying? It's going to be, again, like little bounce play, bounce on up, you know, a little drop, bounce on up, little drop, bounce on up. 450 is going to be a little tough. And everything's right on the screen. You know, I see people saying, Deck, what's your strike price? It's right here. Strike price is right here, this middle button. So 450 is my strike price. So 450 was my strike price on that play. Everything is on the screen as always. I don't hide anything. I trade live. I'm not going to randomly just post on Twitter. Hey guys, made $5 billion today. Started with a 1 penny challenge last week. Oh, you're amazing. You're incredible. This was so awesome. Can we see any P&Ls? No. Here's an Excel sheet I wrote up though. Obviously, guys, I'm going to do everything live in front of you. Telling you exactly what's going on. Making sure you guys are all set. We do have the S&P 500. I still would like to see that 451 mark, but we are underneath the VWAP right now. Being underneath the VWAP, trying to stay above 450 support, right? We're trying to hold right above 450 support. If we do get a little crack, the next little crack's going to go down to 449.60. That is the pre-market low. Next bounce play will be, again, 449.60. I don't know exactly when that crack's going to be, but we can try to test the waters a little bit, guys. We can get a little, you know, testy. So we can try to test the waters here coming on up. I would like to see maybe one more little test of the VWAP and get rejection. That would make our lives easy. Pop on up, one more test of the VWAP, get rejected, fall back on down from there. Also, 10 o'clock, we will see some movement, team. 10 o'clock, we will see some movement. Also, here comes a little bit of a crack right now at this moment. If things do start getting, you know, weak, we could fall on down towards, again, that 449.60 mark. That is the pre-market lows where I think a lot of traders are going to try to push it down towards. And then I do think it's going to pop back up towards that 450 mark. Eventually, we will leave the 450s and just be away from it. You know, that will happen pretty soon. I'm thinking about re-jumping in and just saying, all right, Deck, as long as it stays underneath 450, you know, you keep on holding. Because there will be, again, that little bit of that crack and that little bit of a fade coming on up here. So right now, the S&P 500 trying its best. Just be a slow and steady little fader right now. But I would like to be able to see at least one more test of that VWAP. If you guys are in on puts right now, you guys are doing absolutely fine. Puts, you know, right now seem like they're doing absolutely fine. Puts right now are doing really solid. And as long as you stay underneath that 450 mark, you are, you know, pretty good to go. I would like to see one last little pop above 450, though. And I know, again, if you guys are, like, it's saying, no, Deck, I want it to fall. I'm sorry. I just want to see, like, one more test, hit the VWAP, fade. That'll kill it on off. It'll help everyone. So we want to see a pop on up, hit this VWAP, fade on off, then again we start falling. Remember, 1 minute chart, 2 minute chart, 3 minute chart, 5 minute chart, you always want to be having just the VWAP on it. VWAP will be the most helpful one out of all those. Michael Barr speaks in 13 minutes. And you'll be all set here. Ready to rock. Little early morning stretching. Little early morning stretching. Getting ourselves going. S&P 500 right now. Deck, how do you stay so energetic every single morning? Most of you guys already know. I don't drink coffee. I never had coffee. If you want to know the real secret, I grew up on a farm. And one of the best ways to get your energy up every single morning is badger milk. Go on out, milk a badger. Go ahead and put it down raw dog style, baby. You guys will be all set, ready to go. Badger milk. S&P 500 getting a little bit of a bounce play back on up. S&P 500. Let's keep our eyes peeled on this one. Staying ready, staying alert. So staying watching this play. Guys, we all know the game plan right now. Little side note, if you guys are just joining us at this time, 451 natural resistance. So, or excuse me, 451 is going to be the main resistance line that we want. So as long as we are above 450, it's going to be difficult to do puts, okay? As long as you are above 450, it's going to be very annoying. Okay, it's going to be bounce play off 450. Bounce play off 450. Deck, it's going to look like it's going to crack. Probably bounce right back above 450. The ultimate target we would like, ultimate target would be all the way up towards around 453. But more realistically, there's a couple different options that could happen. Let's talk about them all, okay? One option that could happen is we hit the VWAP and we fade. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. This black line essentially tells us when we're considered bullish and when we're considered bearish. So for instance, let's go back to like a 2 or 3 minute time frame. A 2 minute time frame is fine. 2 minute time frame. When we are underneath this black line, there's always going to be more selling. When we are above this black line, there's always going to be more climbing. When we're underneath this black line, you can see that there's more selling. If we hit this black line and we can't get above it, aka the VWAP, that is showing that there's not enough buyers to push over to the bullish side. If we again come up to this VWAP area and we break above it, that shows that there's strength and you wouldn't want to be holding your put contract anymore. At this moment, we keep getting up towards, again, 450.20 and fade on down. We get up towards 450.20 and fade on down. We just had a little bit of a lower high, 450.15, just started fading ourselves back on down. Things are looking a little bit weaker, but we have to stay underneath 450. If we cannot stay underneath 450, that is where we will keep getting these bounces until most likely one of them does lead to the spike on up. We have now hit 450 once, twice, and it is looking for that possible third sell-off here. I'm actually thinking about another potential entry. Guys, I'm going to do one more entry right here. I'm jumping back in on this play right now, just in case we get a dump. Why, Deck? Well, we just had slightly lower highs. We have slightly lower highs at this moment, and we are underneath 450 again. I'm going to hold this one for a crack on down to 460. Guys, I'm up $500 right now. Let's fall down to 460. Here's a new low of the day, 470, 460. Pre-market low is going to lead towards a bounce play. Pre-market low, and guys, I'm getting out right now, $547. So guys, there's the crack. We just predicted the absolute perfect crack once again. All right? Deck, guys, how the fuck is he doing this? How is he doing this? Guys, how the heck is he doing this? How the is he doing this? Guys, $547 in profit. Okay, so nice job right there. See this play again, get a little bit of a drop back on down. And now we're again still fading, still getting weaker. So this is absolutely beautiful so far. Right now, this is great. And remember, we will see a bounce off the pre-market lows. Pre-market lows is 449.60, which is why we just took our profits. And we're going to go back on up towards probably 450 plus now. So we're probably going back above 450 plus at this moment. So we're just doing everything we need to do at this time. So I want to see it go back above. I still want to see that like VWAP test. Now, if you're also saying, Deck, when are you jumping down the small account challenge or the small account here? We got two different entries, really. Or, I mean, let's talk about it. If you guys have a small account, okay, you guys have a couple different things you guys got to think about. Number one, the S&P 500. Do an expiration date on the S&P 500 for next Wednesday. If you have a small account, give yourself time to be able to win. So don't just do a same-day expiration today. You have so much room to fall over the next 1, 2, 3 days that you can obviously see a ton of weakness. You have so much room to be able to drop. So you can do a couple different things. Number one, you enter now. You enter at 449.50. You enter at 450, and you say, Deck, you know what? I think over the next 1, 2, 3 days, we're going to fall back down to 448. We're going to fall on down to 446. We're going to fall on down to 445. And I think I'll win, that way. Or, if you want to, you can try to be more precise. You can say, hey, Deck, I don't want to hold this throughout lunch hours today. I'm going to wait until we get all the way up to 451 or wait until this afternoon. So there's two ways that you can trade the small account. Number one, you can go ahead and pull the trigger right now. That's one way, and we might see a fade throughout the entire day. Number two would be that you wait until lunch hours pass you by, then you enter, after having it prove to you that it is falling, that it is fading, that momentum is finally shifting after 11 days, and then you could jump in after time decay takes over in lunch hours and be able to keep on holding from there. So it's either you jump in now and you're willing to hold until Wednesday, or you jump in when you have a little bit less time decay and after it proves to you that it is falling and fading a little bit more. So those are your two options that you would want. So I want to make sure that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll here. Guys, I'm trying to turn it down all the way. I want a little music over on TikTok, but I have it right now at the background on like 3%. So hopefully, again, you know, over on TikTok, the music is barely coming on out, and it's just a nice little vibe right here for you guys. But guys, here's that little bounce play back on up. We're just taking things nice and easy right here. We're just taking some things nice and easy. We'll get that big trade. We'll get that big trade here soon. NVDA, guys, NVDA got the dump. Now, team, why is NVDA getting a dump? I mean, traders, take a look at it. This is actually really interesting. NVDA, this is really cool, guys. If you guys take a look over on NVDA, 500 will always be a super strong resistance line. We hit 500, we crashed all the way down to 449. You hit 500, you crashed all the way down to 410. We hit 500, right now we're at 490. If anyone right now is saying, Deck, I am not going to do the SPY on a trade. I want to do something a little bit more crazy. I want to do something a little bit more wild. I want to do something a little bit more, you know, outlandish. If you want to do something a little bit more crazy and a little bit more wild, we hit 500 on NVDA and we fell $50. We hit 500 on NVDA and in over a month, we fell $90. We are hitting 500 right now. You're down 10 bucks at this moment. You might still have another $40, $30, $100 to drop over on NVDA. 500 will not be easy to break at all. So make sure you guys do understand that as you guys are coming up closer towards that 500 region. So NVDA, make sure you guys are aware that that is definitely going to be one that you guys could be able to make some cash on. Nvidia. Guys, 4 minutes. High alert, everyone. High alert. In the next 3 minutes, we are going to be coming out with 10 o'clock news. Now, 10 o'clock news, it's not always, but a lot of times. You know, can you guys back me up here for anyone who does not know? What happens at 10 o'clock? We usually see either very strong spike or we usually see very strong dump right back on down at 10 o'clock. So at 10 o'clock, we usually see very strong spike or very strong dump right at 10 o'clock. So a lot of volatility. Great way to put it. Nice word right there. Word of the day, guys. Volatility. Kind of the language of origin. American. Okay. Can you use it in a sentence? These stocks are volatile at 10 o'clock. Volatility. F. Okay. I never made it very far in my spelling bee days. When was that? 6th grade? 6th grade is when you can show up on ESPN 8 the Ocho and start, you know, going after it on the spelling bee. I didn't even get past my classroom finals. I got tripped up. I made it to the 2nd round of my classroom. Not the school, not the national spelling bee. My 30-person classroom. I got tripped up on the word celery. Celery I lost on. Every time I look at a piece of celery, I always think about 6th grade, and I always think about spelling bee. Yep. Deck, that's an easy one. Okay, I was 11 at the time. You try spelling celery at 11 years old. It's a little bit tricky. Guys, we got a minute and a half here. We got a minute and a half at this moment. See, I'm seeing half you guys don't even know how to spell it now. How is celery spelled, guys? No cheating. C-E-L-E-R-Y. Not C-E-L-L. Not C-E-L-L-A-R-Y. C-E-L-E-R-Y. Half of you guys can't even spell it now. So many people already spelled it wrong in chat. All right, so... I know there's a few of you guys being like, oh man, I didn't spell this right. Double L's get you. All right, traders, here we go. 15 seconds. All eyes. We might see a pop in 15 seconds. Potential pop, which I would like. Back above 450. Let's get back above 450. Let's go back up towards highs. Make our life easy. Let's see if it's going to happen here, traders. We want to see a pop and squeeze in the matter of 5 seconds here. Let's see it. 10 o'clock. Come on, pop back up above 450. Go back above 450. We're hitting this little top line here. Be ready for a potential entry back on down if things start getting weak. There's 450. 450 starting to break. 450 having some trouble, guys. Little 450 trouble right now. There's 450 again. Starting to squeeze a little bit. And there's again a little 10 o'clock squeeze. Little 10 o'clock squeeze right now. Let's see if we can get back above the VWAP. This is a big time to test the VWAP. VWAP's at 450.21. And again, little secrets right here, guys. Guys, I'll be honest. I've been in and out of the game. I've been in and out of hedge funds. I've been in and out of Wall Street. I've been in my fair share of Uber Blacks. I know what, again, Wall Street be saying. I know what Wall Street be talking about. Oh, Deck, I didn't know a little bit about this 10 o'clock rule. Oh, I didn't know again about this little lower high. I didn't know about, today 451. Yeah, I've been in my fair share of Uber Blacks. And I've Uber pooled. I know. Right now we are sitting still at this area. 2 trades so far. $547. Which isn't bad. This is going to pay for the Christmas lights. Lisa, but you have been to Dorsia. I have been. I have another reservation at Dorsia in 2 weeks. Not easy to get into, for those who know. I usually have one every other week. Dorsia, 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 Dorsia. KF, didn't you run off the Christmas light, people? I did, because I want to do it myself. I think the best way to spread some Christmas cheer is to be hanging up some Christmas lights on your house. And I absolutely love Christmas time. So you know what? I don't want to hire someone to put up some lights. I want to have a little pride. I'm not much of a man, but the man that I am is going to hang up some Christmas lights. Okay? Let's do it here. Guys, again, a little bit of this fade back on down at this moment. We're still underneath this 450 mark. And as I said, 450 is going to be a little annoying for a bit, guys. It will be. 450 is going to be a little annoying for a bit. There's going to be times that we're going to go slightly above it. There's going to be times that we go slightly underneath it. 450 is going to be slightly annoying here. Travis, what's the best way to learn how to trade like this? Be on tradecaster.com. Tradecaster.com is where I am live every single day. Not only am I live over on tradecaster.com every single day, but all these traders are live on Tradecaster every single day. So I'm live here, but you can go ahead, click other traders that are live streaming their trading. You can go ahead, click watch their live at this time. You can head on over here, watch AK47. He's live. He has his chat room. So you get to learn from me and all these other traders. Not only that, we do have lessons, boot camps, how to do options, how to do shorting, how to enter, how to exit, candlestick lessons, all this stuff. So if you want to be learning, get on over here to tradecaster.com. And I'm just going to say it now so I don't got to say it later on, guys. We are going to be doing free live streams here for the next week straight. And the reason why we're doing it next week straight is because, again, we are gearing up for the biggest sale of the year, Black Friday. So if you guys are ready to rock and roll, Tradecaster, we usually have 2 sales a year, and Black Friday is the biggest sale of the year. Traders, what we're doing this year is the biggest we've ever done. This year, what we have is 40% off. There is literally no excuse. Everything, it will be the cheapest it's, I think, ever been in existence. But we do have a catch. 40% off for the first 100 people that sign up. Then the next 100 people will be 35% off. Then the next whatever is 30% off. The bottom line is everyone's at least getting 30% off, but the first 100 will get 40% off. The first 200, 35% off. Then everyone else, 30% off. So make sure that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. And yes, guys, that'll mean monthly membership, annual membership, lifetime membership. Lifetime membership's the biggest deal because we're cutting that off almost $1,200. So we're cutting $1,300 off of the lifetime membership, being 40% off. So everything is a one-time fee. It's not like it's locked in, guys, where it's like, okay, I'm only doing $80. That's for 1 month. Or again, semi-annual, that's one. 12, that's one. So make sure that you guys, again, take advantage of the big bulk when they are as cheap as possible. This goes live on Thanksgiving at 7 p.m. So Thanksgiving, guys, 7 p.m. Eastern time is going to open the doors to Black Friday. So 7 p.m. Eastern time, Black Friday, tradecaster.com, Thanksgiving Day is going to be running from Thursday to Monday. All right? So let's get ready to rock and roll. And yeah, everyone will be, can't say you're working that day. All right? It's Thanksgiving that day. Next Thursday to next Monday. So it's Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday. So right now, traders, we are just staying alert, staying ready. Got the SPY still just watching here. And as I said, 450 is going to be a little annoying. We got to truly break away from 450. We have to truly break away from 450, and that's where we'll start, seeing a little bit more action, start seeing a little bit more profit for us. Deck, any spots left over in Utah? I don't want to say yes, and we don't really have any more spots. If you really want to come to Utah, I will try to make something happen, but everything is sold out over on Utah. So our ski trading mastermind, everything is sold out. We are, again, filled completely on up. If there is, if you are definitely still interested, hey, send me an email. We'll be willing to throw a little air mattress in the closet. Maybe have you sleep underneath, maybe on the kitchen counter. We'll try to make something work. So if you really want to, you can email me and we'll figure it out. Absolutely. But we are sold out at this time. S&P 500 traders starting to get a little bit of action. 450 still holding on up. We got to get away from that 450 mark as we talked about. S&P 500 starting to get a little bit more hype, starting to get a little bit more momentum right here, traders. So here comes a little bit of a squeeze, guys. Here comes the VWAP touch over on the S&P 500. VWAP touch, S&P 500. If we break back above the VWAP, we could run all the way back up to 451. Traders are getting pretty exciting here. Traders are getting ready to rock and roll here. Traders are focused over on the S&P 500. If it breaks this, we could see that possible pop, which I would like. I personally want us to go back up to 451. I personally want us to go back up towards, again, that 453 mark. I want us to be able to go up higher and higher. The higher we go, the easier and more predictable it's going to be for the fall. So the easier and better for the drop. So that's what we're ultimately waiting for at this time here, team. Still watching for the S&P 500. And we are still hitting that VWAP area. I know some traders as well may say, hey, Deck, can I do a put contract at the VWAP? And I would say yes, but we are slightly above the VWAP. If we break the VWAP, that means there's room to run to the bullish side. So, Deck, can I do call contracts? That would be a better trade right now, to do call contracts with, against stop losses underneath the VWAP. I can't look at chat right here for a second. There we go. My Google Chrome, over the last week and a half, my Google Chrome has been freezing, just like, my browsers. I don't know if I have to update my Google Chrome or whatnot, but over the last week and a half, every now and then in the middle of the day, my Google Chrome just won't allow me to change tabs. I don't know if that's been happening to you guys as well or whatnot. So yeah, it's been a little annoying. So right now, S&P 500. Obviously, again, staying alert, watching and waiting here. And we are still sitting right at this area. 2 trades so far, $547. And both these trades, one costed me $5,000. The other one cost me $2,000. So really, if you had a $5,000 account so far, you could have made the same amount of money that I've been able to make. But we want to see if the S&P 500 is going to keep on, rising, keep on going up higher and higher and higher and higher. But isn't it neat, guys? As I always state, guys, S&P 500 on watch. What I did in the first 20 minutes of the day, it wasn't very complicated. And people always ask, Dek, how are you a full-time stock trader? People think to become a full-time stock trader, you need to make $4,000, $3,000 a day. 547 times 250 days in the stock market. That's $136,000. If you just did what I just did over the last, again, 20 minutes, that's $136,000 salary. So it's like, well, Dek, what if you have some red days here and there? Sure, you're going to have some red days, right? You're going to have some red days, in there. But I'm saying if you average, you might lose 1,000 one day, but maybe you win 2,000 one day. Maybe, you lose $500 one day, but then you win $500 one day. And then you win 1,000, then you win 500, then you win 200, but then you lose 400. Sure, but if you average $547, you make $136,000. And let's say again, sure, we'll throw out taxes or any sort of miscellaneous expenses. We'll go out there $34,000, so $34,000 in taxes. That's going to come out to $132,000 or $102,000 still. So the thing is, if you just did what we just did here, that's $102,000. How many people made $400 today, $300 today, $500 today? And just like that. Right, that is absolutely awesome to know. That's absolutely great. That's absolutely fantastic to just say, hey, to be a full-time stock trader, you just got to make 50 grand. You just got to make 60, 70, 80, whatever your living conditions are, whatever you feel comfortable with. Right? It comes on down to what you feel comfortable with, obviously. I'm not going to say, to be a full-time stock trader, you make 30 grand and you're used to living off 100 grand. Obviously, that's going to be a big change. But I'm saying that, you definitely can do it. I go through TikTok nowadays. You know what I'm seeing nowadays a lot? And I see a lot of people just like buying a bus and just like converting it into a house, just driving around. And it actually looks really nice. I'm not going to lie. Some people like buy ambulances, take out all the dead people, and then they just like turn it into like a kitchen. They have like a PlayStation back there. They have a bed. And then they just drive around. They just, wherever they want. And hey, it's not the lifestyle for everyone, but it seems like it's, pretty nice. I personally am very comfortable where I'm at. I'm probably not going to be doing that, and I'm not saying you should, but I'm just kind of throwing it out there. Some people are very handy on how they live nowadays. They're not homeless. They go out, they buy a car, they switch it up in any sort of way, and they're all set, ready to do it. Get ready, get after it. Still watching this. Kerry, hey, Dek, I have a question. Technically, if you have 5 contracts of something, 500 shares, and the stock drops $1, technically, are you supposed to make $500? No. I mean, that's kind of how it works. Contracts, for each contract is 100 shares, but then you do have to kind of throw in, there is time decay, there is things along those lines. But yes, that would be like a basic little, grounding if you wanted to think about it at the most simple level. Correct. Fernandez saying, Dek, it's easy to go full-time. You just got to, be able to follow your stops. I agree with that. But, I mean, hey, that's something that I struggle with. I think that's something that everyone struggles with. How many people think that they would be a much better stock trader? And let's do a little social experiment right now. How many people think that they would be a much better stock trader if they actually listened to themselves on saying, okay, I'm going to jump in here, but if it hits this area, I'm going to get out? How many people would have ever, maybe only lost $200, $300, $200, $200, $300, $200, $300 and was able to make $300, $500, $600, $1,000? But for some reason or another, when you jump into a trade, you're down 200 and you just keep holding. And then you're down 800 and you say, okay, well, I'll just keep on holding. And then you keep on holding to 2,000. How many people have ever set a stop loss mentally but didn't follow it? How many people have ever said, I'm going to get out if this price hits, and when that price hits, you don't get out? How many times has that led to one of your biggest losses ever? How many times has that happened weekly? So it's, I get that, guys. I definitely understand that, right? It's hard to accept a loser. It's hard to accept failure, especially, the type of person you are. I'm going to say this right now. People that are stock traders, people like you and I, we're different. We're differently built. We're basically entrepreneurs. We're entrepreneurs of our account. That's kind of how I think about it. I think about my stock trading account as a business. I'm the CEO of my stock trading company. I'm the business. I am going to lead towards success here. If I put in a lot of work, my business, my stock account is going to grow. If I don't put in a lot of work, just like a business, I'm not going to see any sales. There's nothing that's going to happen there. So the thing is, as a stock trader, you guys are basically saying, I'm the CEO of my trading account. I'm the CEO of my business. Am I going to have a successful business or am I going to have a failing business? Well, how do you have a successful business? You study, you do hard work, you figure out what works and what doesn't. Now, the same exact thing with your stock trading right here. Stock trading. Okay, let me make sure that I am cutting my losses quickly. Let me make sure that what is working, I can generate as much revenue as possible. You are the CEO of your business. That's how I think about stock trading, and not everyone is built out to be CEOs. A lot of people aren't, which is why people don't stock trade. You know how many times, it's kind of crazy. I literally will be like, hey guys, my friends will be like, hey Sean, how much money did you make today? And I'll be like, I don't know, like 6,000, 4,000. Yesterday I made 3,500, 3,500. And they're like, oh, awesome. And they don't, like, if I was in their shoes, I would say, how do you do that? How do you make that money? So a lot of them are just like, oh, cool. And then they just go back to their 9-to-5 job. They're unhappy. They're sitting there. They commute. They're always saying, oh, I can't go out. I can't do this. I don't have money. And I get it. Money's not easy to come by in a sense. But if there was a way to be able to generate money more quickly than just your normal 9-to-5, I'm jumping all over that. Just like why you guys are here. Just like why you guys are watching this right now. Because you have the mindset of, I'm jumping in on this. I want to learn how to make more money than everyone else does. So the thing is, you already have that mindset. But having that mindset, there's one little itch. There's one little tick that we have, which is we don't like to lose. You don't like to lose. I don't want to lose. We've never wanted to lose in anything we do. When we played sports, we never wanted to lose. We always feel like we want to be the dominant one. We always want to be kind of that alpha in the room, don't we? So the thing is, the S&P 500 trading is basically that time that we have to be able to still be able to be that person, but we also need to be able to understand, all right, we got to take a step back. We have to have discipline. It's okay to have soft losing. It's okay to have small losses, because the real failure is when you blow up an account and you lose it all. Right now, S&P 500. Still waiting, still watching over on this play. MTV Grind sent 2 flames and a donut. And Diego Diaz sent me a rose over on TikTok. Guys, thank you so much. I really don't know what that means, but I appreciate it. I'm assuming it's some sort of small donation. But the thing is, I'm absolutely grateful for it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, we are coming all the way back on up towards the very top. Right now we're going up towards, again, look at this, guys, all the way on up to 451 here soon. Traders, 451 plus. That's where, we could easily start seeing this thing start going up all the way up even higher and higher and higher. We have 2 areas of main resistance. 451, probably like 451.10. And then we have all the way on up towards 453. We know 450. Guys, once we get into the 451 area, I'm probably going to change my strike price to 451. Switch back over to 25 contracts. Let it consolidate up near, again, 451 for a bit, and then look for a nice pullback. Look for a nice drop. 450.82 high so far. Maybe a couple little quick scalps. Maybe a couple little quick scalps up in these highs, guys. Little quick scalps here and there. Do 50 contracts at a time. Deck, this market not making no sense. Hey, welcome to the stock market right now. Yeah. This market ain't making no sense, Decky. No, I definitely understand you. Welcome to the market at this time. I might do a small scalp at, again, 450.75. See if it hits 450.75 and cracks back on down. If it re-breaks 450.75, then just get out right away. Basically a small little scalp play. 450.75, if it hits it and, you know, kind of gets above it, then just kind of get out right away. But and we might just hit that area and get a little bit of a pullback, which could be solid and nice. So this would just be a small little one if you guys are interested on it. Still looking for a little bit of that pop. 450.82 is not really a high of the day number, though. That's the issue. Not really a high of the day number at this time. All right, guys, I'm going to get in right here on a small scalp. If it's not working out, I'm just going to get out, and I don't know if it's going to work out here, so I'm just going to be ready to get out in case it does not work out. But there is a chance that it just hits and falls right back on down, and we start seeing, like, if I can just make a quick little $200 profit off the small scalp, I'll do it. So if I can just get a quick little $200 profit off the small scalp, I'll like it. It's still moving on up, though, a little bit. I don't know if I'm feeling this one right here. It's got to fall back underneath that 450.70 mark. Nope, not liking it. Not liking it. Not liking it. It's still holding its gains. Might go up towards highs. So, yep, I was going to look for a quick little scalp there. But I'm just not feeling it right there at this moment. Now it came back on down a little bit. All right, I'll wait for a better play. Wait for a better one. Wait for a better entry. Don't get, you know, too scalpy. Just wait for that clear-cut play. That'll make a lot more sense for us. Up $293 right now. Stock getting a little bit weaker here. And let's see. We are right next to that 451 mark, where we know 451, that's going to be a little bit of a top. Now, remember, if you guys saying, Deck, why 451? Take a look here. We're going to go back to a 60-minute time frame. 60-minute time frame. The orange line represents where we're at, okay? The blue line represents 450. It's actually a little higher, 451.50. Let's actually add this. Let's add pre-market just so it's a little bit easier to read. And let's scroll back. Orange line is where we're at. Blue line is where I think we're going to run up to. So blue line right up near around this top, 451.20. Here's blue line right here, 451.40. Little bit of, again, old top, old top, old top, old top. Here's the 453 mark in case things go bananas. Then we do have, here's again an old top, 451.50. Orange line, orange line, orange line, orange line, all out again, 451. Here's some old tops at 451. Here's again 451.50. Here's 451.50, 451.50. S&P 500 still trying to do its thing right now. S&P 500 going on a nice spike at this moment. So let's see how much more is left in the tank. So this play, guys, going up even higher at this time. Higher and higher and higher, which is obviously absolutely huge right here. We got up towards the high of the day, 450.94. Give me 2 seconds right here, traders. All right, we are watching this 450.94 so far. We're getting closer. Getting closer for that possible, you know, main entry that we want. And I'm still waiting for my big trade of the day. My big trade is what I'm looking for. Be able to nail that possible top and see that main reversal. And I also want to be able to do that over on the small account as well. I'm still ready to rock and roll on the small account and do what we do over on the small account. So I'm still excited about that. Looking forward to seeing, you know, how much money we could be able to make over on this trade with some November 22nd expirations. So we are all the way on up near 451. Again, where's the max, I think? The max would be like 453-ish. But we have gotten all the way on up towards around 451 at this point. Deck, where would a lot of weakness come through? Probably back underneath that 450-70-ish mark. 450-70, we start heading back on down towards the VWAP. 450-70, we start, getting weaker. I would like to see a spike, start seeing that reversal, start coming back on down. Deck, do you still want to do, again, November 15th, same day expiration? There's part of me that wants to go back to, like, November 17th, basically jump in and hold this overnight if this does start getting that drop. Like, if today we start fading and falling and start getting weaker and weaker and weaker, there's a chance that we definitely want to be able to just say to ourselves, hey, you know what, take profits when you have it. Let this thing, keep, fall for the next few days. So, that is something that's in my mind. I definitely think the top is coming on up, but where, when? Where is going to be that exact top? The last few days, guys, we already talked about how ridiculous this market is. We already talked about how this market does not make much sense at this moment, right? We've talked about this multiple times, continuously going up higher and higher and higher and higher. The game plan that we've had here, stupid, crazy facts about the market. The SPY is now at $42 in 2 weeks. Now it's actually higher. Now it's about $44 in 2 weeks. The SPY is up 8% now. The SPY has never had this quick of a 7% or now 8% spike in history. So we are, again, seeing this thing continue to rip and run and keep on going. Traders, how much more is left in the tank on the SPY? We are now, again, 11 out of 12 days in the green, up 8%. Put this into a different perspective. Throughout an entire year, throughout 12 months, the S&P 500 is supposed to give a 10% return on average. We are now up 8%, 80% of the move it's supposed to make in 12 months has now been made in 2 weeks. So traders, this has been nuts on how high that this thing has been spiking and continuously moving. We are still going up higher and higher and higher. And how high can this go? That is the question. We are getting ready to rock and roll over on the S&P 500. We could get up towards, again, 453. As you guys know, we are getting towards that area where, guys, I'm actually thinking maybe November 17th expiration on my big account. If I can nail a top on this, I just want to keep on holding. So if I can nail the top over on this play, I would love to just be able to keep on holding and be able to, make some profits that way. So maybe November 17th expiration, at least, give me throughout the rest of this day and into tomorrow. So I'm actually going to move back, I think, a little bit. How much would these cost? Like 18,000 bucks. Not too bad. 415.21 so far, high. So we're still going up higher. What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking at this moment? Some of you guys are probably thinking, Deck, this is stupid. How is the stock market still going on up? The other part of you guys are saying, Deck, I mean, I just jumped in on calls. I know, and if you guys, I know a lot of people, someone said to me yesterday, someone said, Deck, don't yell at me. I'm in on calls. And I'm not going to yell at you. You're making tons of money. It's just ridiculous how the market is still going higher and higher and higher and higher. I have been trading now for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen an 8% spike. I mean, I haven't in the matter of 14 days or 12 days. Yeah, it didn't even do this during, that time 2 years ago that you can't speak of. So right now we are still going up even higher. How much more is left over on this tank? It just still keeps on going up, 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 up. No pullback yet. No big drop yet. 451.24. 451.24 so far. Finally getting a little bit of a pullback. Could that be it? Could that be a sign of the bottom? Or the sign of the top? 451.24. Right on up towards, again, that 451 region. I definitely want to start getting involved possibly over on some trades here. Especially if we ever do start getting that, nice pullback and do start getting that drop. Traders, I'm going to be honest with you. We are kind of lined up perfectly right on that, what I already talked about, that 60-minute time frame. That 60-minute time frame, right at that 451 mark. We've gone through it. 451, blue line. top. You know, that 451 mark is pretty special. 451 top. 451 top 451. You know, it is a very nice area over on this play. I'm actually thinking about pulling the trigger on the small account, just having it in on the small account. So the small account, guys, I think this is a good possible time to, you know, get involved on it and just say, hey, you know what? This is a good entry in case this one does start falling and fading. So, guys, I'm jumping in on the small account. Small account, jumping in on that one, and I'm going to have my November 22nd expiration date. So, I am jumping in. Small account, just invested about $900. Small account in case this is the tippity top. So if that is the tippity top, I am in small account. And if this thing falls and turns and drops, I'm going to be holding this for the next few days and trying to turn that, you know, $1,000 into $5,000, trying to nail the very tippity top there. Small account is in. Holding for November 22nd. So I'm going to hold the small account trade until most likely either Friday or until Monday. Well, Deck, when would you get out of that play? I would only get out of that play if it ever started going up towards like 452.20 plus. You know, so like if it ever started going like way higher, then I would get out. But if this has potential to be near the top. So that definitely has potential. I am in on small account there. Just in case that is the top, just in case that is, you know, the weakness. And I'm probably going to jump in on a bigger account trade as it pops back up near 451. No, I put a 446 strike price. So Gina, 446. I went out of the money on that one so I can afford more shares. So I wouldn't be able to afford as many shares. Now, there is still a chance that this one goes up higher, but since I'm doing a 7-day out expiration on the small account, I'm again saying, hey, this is an amazing entry up high. Hold this for the next few days and see if this thing can start fading and falling. But honestly, guys, I'm going to exit out of my small account. I don't even want to look at it at this time. Let it do its thing, and I would get out of that play if it ever started going back up towards like 452. Just get out, move on. Wouldn't be worth it. But I don't want to be, you know, being like, ooh, should I take my profits? That's a play that I want it to fall, fade, drop, and keep getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So that I am in on the small account, just a little heads on up at the price of 451 for that one to fade back on down. So if you guys have a small account, that may be something that you want to be looking at. Small accounts, that may be something that you would want to be looking at. Here's again, larger account right here. 451.25. Guys, I like it. I like it a lot. You know, we are near potential tops. We are definitely near potential tops. I would like to see maybe, you know, one more little rally back up towards, again, that 451 mark. Give us like one last little rally back up to 451. Deck, do you see anything that's kind of like clear cut? You know, I would say, you know, let's see if we get some sort of bounce play right here. Get some sort of bounce, build a little bit of higher lows. Let's get some sort of bounce, build some sort of higher lows, then crack this later on today, and that's where the big sell-off will be. Now, again, if you guys have a tiny account and you're saying, Deck, I'm riding everything on you right here, please be correct with me. You know, if that's the case, traders, please, only buy in if you feel comfortable. Only buy in if you like the game plan. Only buy in if you were saying to yourself, hey, I'm doing this not because Deck told me. I'm doing this because I like it. If you have no idea what you're doing, don't buy in. If you're saying, oh, I'm just buying it because Deck bought in, don't do that. I want you to do what you think is best and understand my game plan. My game plan, as you guys already know, is the S&P 500 is now up 8% in 12 days. The S&P 500 has never gone on a rally this quickly. The S&P 500 has gone on a climb all the way up to 451, a $42 spike in the matter of less than 2 weeks. I'm putting an expiration 7 days away, saying in the next 7 days, we're going to be coming back on down. That's essentially what I'm saying. Now, if you like that game plan, pull the trigger. If you don't like that game plan, right, then say, I'm going to wait until after lunch. I want to see where we're at. I'm going to wait until maybe, you know, it falls one day. I want to maybe wait for one clear red day, then I'll jump in. Then go ahead, right? But I always want to kind of throw out that disclaimer. Because when I win, traders say, Deck, you're a genius. I love you, buddy. And when I lose, people say, fucking I hate you. I hate you. All right, so I always have to throw out the game plan, all right? Make sure that you are trading. You are putting it out there. This is my big account. This is my big account. This is not my small account. This is my big account at this time. Right now, staying alert here. Dek, I'm a new trader. I'm very sorry. Can you break that down in like the most simplest terms possible? No problem. So what we have here, guys, is the S&P 500 on average makes about a 10% return on investment. We call that ROI. Now, with the ROI being stated, we want to be looking for uptrends and downtrends. Now, if the VWAP cracks, as we talked about, that's going to lead to bullishness to bearishness, which is probably an influx of where we're at right now. But the RSI has been coming up to a 70. If we do cross over 70, that means we're going to be overbought, and it's going to be probably the odds are going to be on the oversold side. Now, we do have CPI data, Consumer Price Index, that just came out yesterday, with PPI data, which came out today. Putting both those together, and Federal Reserve Michael Barr speaking, that's kind of leading towards this trifecta of what could be coming on up today. Now, also, we do have some news coming up over on Friday, which is going to be leading towards the Federal Reserve holding rates at 5.5% throughout the next 6 months. Now, holding 5.5% the next 6 months is probably going to take a toll on the American economy and what could be coming on up for the deterioration of not only your salaries, but other salaries. So it really is just basically putting that together to make this plan as simple and easy as possible. So that's what we want to think about while trading this stock. Yikes. Right now, still waiting. Got the S&P 500. Dek, big account. When are you jumping in on big account? Big account, guys. Maybe the trend line crack. Little trend line crack. We start going in on the big account. So just a little heads on up. Some people, just everyone yelling out, Dek, why would you jump in on the small account right now? I don't know where the top's going to be. The top may be at 451. The top may be at 451.24. The top may be at 452. But I like this area a lot. And you know what? This area, I do believe in the next 7 days, we will have something underneath this area. With that being stated, I think I'll win on the small account trade. So it's like, I don't know where the tippity top is going to be on the S&P 500, but I do believe in the next 7 days, we're going to be underneath the price of 451. I think we could easily be back at 443, 442, 441 in the next 7 days when a drop does start happening, when the momentum does start shifting. Spy still watching this play here. Stadium by Simon. Are the live streams now on Wednesday instead of Thursday? Nope, we're doing live stream straight for the next week. So we're going live stream today, tomorrow, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we are going to be having live streams on TikTok, YouTube, and Tradecaster for the next week straight as we get prepared for our Black Friday. So we got Thanksgiving break coming on up. Thanksgiving, we are off on Thursday. It's a half day on Friday, but there's not really anything to do on those Fridays. We'll just come in really quickly just saying happy Thanksgiving. But I want to give you guys, kind of free access for the next, 4 days and get ready for our Black Friday sale coming on up. So it's going to be an absolute blast, going to be an absolute ball. So pumped, so excited, so ready for that. Black Friday starts this Thanksgiving at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday, next Thursday. First 100 people, 40% off. Next 100 people, 35% off. And then for the rest of the weekend, 30% off. If you guys are already a member, you guys can upgrade your membership with to lifetime, to annual, or to 6 months. If you guys are a brand new member, you can do any membership, of course, that you would like. But this is usually the time that everyone upgrades their membership for 40% off. Instead of paying $3,000 for a monthly membership, it's only $1,000, right? So basically what people pay a year now can get you an entire lifetime on Tradecaster.com. And that's on this Friday only. So make sure that you guys are all set, or Black Friday. So team S&P 500, we are still waiting on this play here. getting ready for our drop. Now, I do plan on trying to hold my big account for a while as well. So I did change the expiration date to November 17th because, I would like to be able to hold this overnight. I would like to be able to nail the drop. I would like to be able to make that big time profit. And I feel like this is an opportunity of a year. You know what I mean? Like, and not an opportunity of a lifetime, but I'm saying an opportunity of a year. How often do we see an 8% climb? How often do we see a $42 spike in a week and a half? Not often. So I do think that this is an amazing time to possibly be able to take over. This could be an amazing time for us to possibly be able to make some nice profits. We know 451 is going to be some strong resistance. Still holding that trend line slightly. And I appreciate everyone tuning in and watching today. If you guys are if you guys are with me at this moment, make sure you guys smash that thumbs on up. Smash that thumbs on up at this time if you guys are over on YouTube. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so that you guys are all set, ready to go. You guys never miss a beat. You guys are all good. All good, ready to rock and roll. Fired up. That's all I ask for every single day. You guys come in fired up. You guys come in enthusiastic. You guys come in ready to rock and roll. Set your alarm clocks for 2 a.m. Eastern time, guys. Market doesn't open up till 9:30, but no one said anything about sleeping in. I would rather wake up and be prepared. 7 hours prepared is what I like to do. 7 hours of commercial-free football with Scott Hansen every Sunday. With, again, 7 hours of stock trading with Sean Dekmar every single day for the rest of your life. S&P 500 trying to get a little bit of a pop on up. Shaz, nope. Small account I'm already in on. Small account I'm in on. Holding that one till probably next Wednesday unless it just kind of goes ballistic today. But I would like it to, big account, I'm looking for my big account entry at this point. Dekmar Trade Zone, absolutely. My favorite part of Red Zone is when Scott Hansen gets slightly angry. It's always so funny. He'll say, all right, let's, hey guys, let's bring them out to Tampa Bay and see what, again, Baker Mayfield has going on today. And then all of a sudden it like goes off to Las Vegas. And he's like, well, I guess we're going to Las Vegas. All right, well, thanks guys, we'll work on that. Just like when things go off cue, it always makes me chuckle. Or the witching hour. Right now, S&P 500, 451. Still getting a little bit of a pop here. Let's see if we're going to be able to keep on moving. Let's see if we can keep on going. Guys, I'm still waiting for my entry on my big account. Big account, I'm probably going to throw in, I'm going to say probably $30,000. So probably starting on off, I'm probably going to do somewhere around $30,000 over on my bigger account. So far, we've just done little tiny trades right here. Fill up the gas tank, buy some groceries at the house. But I'm trying to make sure that we're all set, ready to go. Make sure that we're all set, ready to get after it. Trying to get, custom leather upholstery over on the Lamborghini. Floor mats, Seated heats. $10.43. Market still slowly grinding. Market still slowly holding. Yeah, I'm waiting for more of either a spike up to the high of the day or a potential crack. So if anyone's sitting here saying, Deck, I'm new to stock trading, I have no idea what we're even staring at this point, I'm going to make your life very easy, okay? Very easy in a very simple way. All right, number one, and actually I'm going to show this very quickly. Guys, isn't it crazy? I showed you guys this yesterday. This is the last 72 years of seasonality. This is basically a chart that shows how the stock market reacted over the last 72 years. Now, can you guys notice something pretty crazy? Here's October, okay? Here's the month of October. Scroll on down. The end of October is supposed to be the hottest time of the year. What has happened at the end of October? Traders. End of October we have now gone on an 8% spike, a $42 rip into November. Now, I will say, we are not usually supposed to be seeing November be this strong. Usually, at the end of November, November 20th, 23rd, like next week is supposed to be a very hot week as we get geared up for Thanksgiving. Then we get ready for the Santa Rally. The Santa Claus Rally is the kind of final little run before the end of the year. But October is supposed to be extremely hot. November next week is supposed to be extremely hot. And December is supposed to be extremely hot. So make sure that you guys are ready for that. That's a chart of seasonality over the last 77 years. You can see how this works. So, Dek, if I wanted to, maybe next year, could I just say, all right, September's the reddest month of the year. Could I just wait until the start of October, buy in, and hold it until December? Boom. Welcome to the Millionaires Club. So that's a great way to be able to make cash every single year. So that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Obviously, always excited, fired up, and ready to go. Now, traders, let's see again what I was going into. What am I waiting for? What am I looking at? I'm essentially waiting for this. You guys can take a look over on the SPY right now. The SPY looks exactly like this. This is a stock SPHS. And we have our uptrend. We have a crack of the uptrend. We have our bullishness. We have our bearishness. You can see bullishness, bearishness. You can see bullishness, bearishness. You can see bullishness, bearishness. It's a pretty clear concept of when we are considered more on the upside, more on the buy side, considered now to the sell side, to the short side, to the get rid of it side. Right now, team, where are we at? Are we on the bullish side or the sell side? We are on the complete bull side at this moment. So everything is more towards the bull side at this time. Dex, switch it up. All right, let's switch up the music right here. See what we got. See what we can get. The issue is a lot of times, guys, when I'm live on YouTube, I got to use the free non-copyright music, you know? So it's not like put on Avicii. Put on Avicii, Deck. Do you know that song Levels? Have you ever heard of that song Levels? Can you put that on? No, I can't put that on. Okay? Right now, traders, S&P 500 still going. Remember, crack of that trend line is where things are going to start falling. So we still have the S&P 500 slow and steady at this time, guys. Slow and steady over on the S&P 500. Looking for that trend line to crack. To look for, again, some possible entries. To see that thing fade. To see that thing fall. To see that thing get weaker. Now, what most likely will happen, and I'm just going to say this right now, is I don't think we're going to hit the trend line, and I don't think we're going to crack right away. I think we're going to hit the trend line, and then I think we're going to consolidate for like an hour, and then it's going to crack. So I will say the S&P 500, once we go underneath this trend line, you can look for a quick scalp. After consolidation, I think it's going to then get the big time dump, then get the big time sell off, then get that weakness. But right now we are still slow and steady right on the S&P 500, holding that trend line. Next entry would be crack of that trend line or crack consolidation, then get in. So those are all things that, of course, you guys can be on top of, waiting on, watching. And we're fired up here, traders. As always, every single day, doing what we do best. SPY keeping this one on high watch and high alert. See if this one is going to be able to fade. So far, the high of the day is 451.24, and we do have another day in the green, which I know sounds crazy. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds a little bit wild, but we do have another day in the green at this moment. S&P 500, 1048 in the market at this time, still slowly holding up its gains. Definitely going to give it a chance when it cracks the trend line. If it dumps, glorious, beautiful. If it just keeps holding, then I'll probably lock out and then wait until after consolidation. But I always want to explain what I'm doing. I never want you guys to ever say, oh, I don't know what Deck's doing. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. I don't ever want confusion. Because obviously confusion leads to nervousness. Confusion leads to anxiety. Confusion leads to unpreparation. Confusion leads to fear. All things that you want to avoid in stock trading. If you are fearful, it means you are not experienced enough or you don't have enough education. If you're confused, you're not experienced enough or you don't have enough education. But the things you want to avoid is anxiety, is fear, is that unpreparation, is that feeling of, just saying, okay, I'm just completely lost. If you are feeling that, get out of your trade. You shouldn't be in on it. SPY still just sitting right around that 451-ish mark. Have yet to break through that high of the day. We are still just kind of waiting for that break. Waiting for that break, waiting for that spike. Is that break going to be at, again, the price of 453? Or is it going to be, 451.24? So today, regardless, I think today's the top. I think today we run up towards 451.40. That's going to be the high coming on up. Or I think we run all the way up towards like 450, or we run all the way up towards like 453, which I think is the top. Today, I think either 451 is the top or 453 is the top. Right now, the SPY, we are watching this one closely. High of the day, 451.28 so far. And again, as I said, guys, I'm not really worried on my small account. I have 7 days to fall underneath 451. So that's basically, I'm in on the small account over there, but that is 7 days to fall underneath that 451 mark. Right now, still watching. We're still bullish on the trend line. Still bullish on the trend line, everyone. So it really, as you guys know, we don't need to be buying in at this time as we are bullish on the trend. Now, we could connect some dots if we want to. Deck, there is some old highs, that 451.40-ish mark. This blue line, Deck, where's this blue line from? This blue line, remember, guys, was from the past chart history. A lot of 541.40, and then we do have pre-market high all the way up towards, again, 451.40, and then pre-market high up towards 451.76. Let's see what happens over these next few moments. I mean, this has just been a pretty another day of climbing, another day of gaining, still above that purple line. Extended move up towards 451.76. I will jump in if we see 451.76, just giving everyone a heads up. If we see 451.76, I will jump in on this play just because it's up high and I'll have at least a starting entry. If it breaks through 452, I'll probably get out, wait until 453, jump back in there. So I'm probably going to jump in at 451.75 if we see it, with a stop loss at 452. If it breaks 452, I'll get out and re-jump back in at 453. Right now, I know it's a little bit of the patient game. I know right now it's a little bit of the waiting game. I know right now some traders are getting a little fed up. They're saying, oh, come on, Deck, I want to be able to see this thing dump. Right now, it's patience. Right now, we know that purple line's holding on up. Right now, we know we still have a little bit more room to run. Right now, we know we have a little bit of action. Right now, it all comes on down, guys, purely to the fact of the S&P 500 here. Let this thing try to be able to climb and try to push and try to be able to make its move. Let's go, baby. Saying, Deck, what's your trade on the small account? The small account trade, everyone listen up, is what I have is I jumped in at 451 put contract with an expiration date of next Wednesday, November 22nd. 451 put contract, November 22nd, 9 contracts. So, as long, there won't be really any time decay until like we get into Friday or into next week. So, by the end of the day, if we're at 451 or under 451, you can assume I'm in the green. If I a gap on down to 450, down to 449, 448, I'm making a lot of money. Right now, S&P 500, little bit of a crack right here. Small crack at this time. Small crack at this time. Starting to fade on here slightly. I like how we're getting a little bit weaker. Thinking about maybe giving it a chance, but still, we're not kind of that clear-cut area. Big boy Deck, when's the next ski trip? As I said, they're all sold out. We do have one spot left in March So if you are interested, you can come in March. The March one's going to be fun. Tiesto is going to be staying with us. I think Angelina Jolie is going to be meeting us out on the ski lift as well. So we do have some special celebrity guests, which is going to be very solid and very nice. We have that Catch Me Outside girl. She's a Tradecaster member, and she's going to be staying with us in the house. That Catch Me Outside girl, how about that? So she's going to be there. So again, you know, March, we can try to squeeze in one more if you guys are interested over in March. Yep, mailman, we're gonna make these the annual type of deal. So annual type of thing. Absolutely. Nah, Island Boys. I don't know the Island Boys. Cash me outside, how about that? Cash me outside, how about that? Cash me outside, how about that?
Cash me outside. How about that? Cash me outside. How about that? Cash me outside. How about that? How about that? How about that?
Still holding Spy right now. Spy, still doing its thing. Waiting for this crack. Waiting for this crack. Waiting for this weakness. Waiting for this drop. Waiting for this pullback. Still bullish on all accounts, traders. We can see it. This is what they say. Don't fight the trend. All right, this is what they always say. Don't fight the trend. When we see again the S&P 500 at this moment, S&P 500, we can obviously see at this time, we do not want to fight the trend. We do not want to go against the trend at this moment. This is where patience comes on in. Most people nowadays don't have patience, but this is where, again, people just randomly jump in, blow up their accounts. We can wait for the patience. We can have this patience, guys. Patience pays. Deck, do you do this every day? Every day on Tradecaster.com, I do. So every single day over on Tradecaster.com. People ask me all the time, Deck, do you do anything else other than, again, just, live stream your stock trading? Do you have family, friends, anything along those lines? And guys, that we don't got to bring that on up. We don't got to bring it on up. Okay? I love what I do. Absolutely fine. I was found, guys, on a stoop. Someone left me there. And again, I was raised in an old retirement home center, and I was born, and as I was born, I was one of the grossest, ugliest babies, as it looked like I was 98 years old. And as time surpassed, I slowly got younger and younger and younger and younger and younger. And most people wouldn't believe now, I'm really about 75 years old. Deck, is that the movie plot for The Curious Case of Benjamin Button? Maybe it is. Maybe it is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Maybe we do have the same story. But you know what? It happens more than you think. S&P 500, little bit of a dump here. S&P 500, little bit of a crack. First crack, potentially. First crack over S&P 500. Guys, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to give this a chance. If we're cracking, going to give it a chance. If it pops on up, worst you do is get out, take a small loss. And obviously, I have a little bit of a bigger account, but I'm going to, when I see opportunities, I'm going to give myself chances to win. So when I have opportunities, I'm going to give myself chances to win. S&P 500. In on this right now for that crack of 451. See if we can fade on down. Be able to make, a nice grand or so. Here's the 451 support line. 451 support's not going to be easy to crack underneath. That's going to be the issue. If we can crack underneath 451, we're going to have a lot of room to be able to fade. We're going to have a lot of room to be able to drop. But this is the first trend line crack. I'm going to give, again, our trend line cracks chances. You know, sometimes, you know, traders say, Dek, I don't want to do the, you know, the trend line crack just yet. Hey, if it doesn't work out, I'm just going to get out and move on, wait for the consolidation to happen. But, you know, we sit around, we wait for these plays. You got to be willing to pull the trigger when these opportunities present themselves, you know? So right here, we're still waiting for that possible sell-off. We're still waiting for that possible dump. We're still looking for that possible weakness. See if this thing can fade and basically form some sort of new downtrend here if we can. Can we form some sort of new downtrend? Can we form some sort of new weakness at this time? Right now, we're still waiting on this play. See if we're going to crack 451. We are technically on the bearish side of this candle. Dek, where would you get out? If we start ever getting back above 451.25. Back above 451.25, it just wouldn't even be worth it to me. I'll take, you know, a $100, $200 loss and just move on from this play. Wouldn't be worth it for me to keep on holding and hoping. So again, you know, it's great that we started off with a nice little win, so we have a little bit of wiggle room in case things go against us. But here's a little bit of a pop. Little bit of a pop. And if it ever got back above the price, I would say of like 451, like 25, probably just move on and say, nope, not worth it for me. So here's again that top little line, 451.20. Here's that 451.20. I'm going to actually add a little bit right here, right at the 451 downtrend to see if we can fall. I'm going to do 100 contracts total at this moment just to see if it is going to start getting weaker. If it starts breaking, moving out, getting on, and I'll wait for my better opportunity. But the thing is, guys, if you're going to hit a home run, you got to be willing to swing. If you want to be able to catch that big bass, you got to be willing to go out in the middle of the lake. If you want to be able to, again, be able to make money, you got to be able to put yourself in on positions to make money. So I'm not saying that this is the massive dump. I'm just trying to get a good position for the massive dump, if it does happen. So right now, still waiting, still watching, seeing if it's going to be able to hold on up. Can we get a little bit of a crack? Trying to figure out where this new downtrend could possibly develop to. Trying to just find where is this new downtrend going to develop. Going a little bit higher than what I want. May get out of this one in a moment. Going a little bit higher than what... Yep, out, out. Whew, that kind of jumped up a little quickly. Out of that play. Out of that play, guys. Not doing what I wanted to. Went after it, gave it a chance on the crack. Not going to hold and hope. Refusing to hold and hope on this one. Not holding and hoping. So if it goes up higher, that's fine. Right now, because I did have that $500 win before, I am only down $700, which isn't, you know, that bad. But at the same time, you know, I'm going to keep continuously pulling the trigger, looking for that breakout or looking for that crack on down. But I'm not going to, again, I'm not trying to time it perfectly. If it does not work out, I'm moving on. So I'm okay with that right now. So I'll just keep waiting for that perfect opportunity. Whenever it does present itself, we'll be all set, ready to go. I mean, this is kind of what I think is going to happen here, is that we do have this channel now starting to form. Oop, let me put that in a red resistance line. We do have this channel now that seems like it's starting to form. Hopefully we can just keep spiking and keep breaking on out. I would rather just keep going up, 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 up. But I'm not going to make any more entries at this time. No more entries at this moment. No more entries at this time. And notice how I kept a nice tight stop loss as well. And you might say, well, Dek, you lost $1,000. But again, at the same time, I'm putting in like $35,000, $40,000. So, you know, I can make $1,000 just as quickly. You know, yesterday we made $3,500. So it's just like you can see how quick we can make money when we trade bigger money. Roman, Dek, how many years are you planning on trading live? For a while. Probably going to be doing it forever. Probably for a very long time. So we are actually on like my 8th year of stock trading. I've been learning how to trade for 10 years and or have been trading for 10 years and started streaming like 7.5 or 8 years ago. So it's been a nice journey so far. A little bit of the waiting game still at this moment. Traders, let's stay smart. Let's stay, again, ahead of the curve. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns for me? Please let me know. Ski, even when you're living in Del Boca Vista? Who told you I have a vacation home there? No, I've never been to Del Boca Vista. I don't even know where it is. But you know what? It sounds like a pretty fancy place if you ask me. Jalen. Nope. Again, Jalen, I'm literally in on a small account trade right now. So, Jalen, I am not stopping the small account. I'm literally in on a small account trade as we speak. So, I'm holding that one. I'm in on that one, and I'm holding that one till Wednesday. Taff, honest question, Deck. Do you feel you have a short bias, meaning that you prefer to be on the short side? I know you mentioned that you short really a tons of cash, but I do feel like your initial reaction is a short. Absolutely. You know, I love shorting, but the difference is penny stocks are known to dump. The S&P 500 is known to climb. So the thing is, the S&P 500 is going to go up more than it is going to dump. The S&P 500 is going to dump or climb more than it dumps. Penny stocks are more known to dump. So the thing is, on the SPY, you want to be more bullish over time, more calls over time. But the thing is, the SPY at this time, it's just gone 8% in the matter of 2 weeks. You guys heard me say it a billion times. I just don't think this is natural movement. GJS Deck, are you trading underneath your LLC? I am not at this time. Night Trader, I know you I think I just answered that. I know you're short biased, and I've seen you make a lot of money doing that. How did you start? Would you recommend bouncing? So really, again, for shorting, guys, and shorting penny stocks, it really just comes on down to the pure fact of every single morning we have a low float top gainer. These low float top gainers are usually pumped up just from other discords. Once these other discords pump them on up, the main guy is going to sell, and they usually just fall apart. So every single day, I would sit back, just wait for the low float top gainer to go on a nice rip, start shorting it, and by the next day, you'll be up in a ton of profit. Now, yes, there will be times that you do see squeezes. There will be times that you see dumps. There will be next legs on up, but it's not often. It's like, 8 out of 10 times, you're going to see a very nice rip, right? And then you're going to see the crash. Maybe 2 out of 10, you go up higher than expected. Guys, little heads on up right now. SPY starting to crack a little bit. SPY starting to crack a little bit at this moment. So, guys, we are starting to crack here slightly. This is where, again, I want to pull the trigger, but it's also just a little bit nerve-wracking. But it's one of those times that it's like, Deck, if you're going to jump in, you kind of have to pull the trigger and give it a chance. This is one of those, like, you have to pull the trigger and give it a chance. So I'm going to, at this moment, pull the trigger, give it a chance, and see if, again, we can be able to see this thing, fade and fall and start getting a little bit weaker. So, it is falling underneath the channel. We're looking for this to fade all the way back on down to the VWAP, basically make back our loss from before and get ourselves going here. So I like how the S&P 500 is getting weaker at this time. I am in on this play with 50 contracts at this moment, looking to see if, again, momentum is going to start shifting and we could actually see a fade and fall all the way back down to 450-ish or, start getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. So I like how it seems like momentum is finally starting to turn. I like how it looks like momentum is finally starting to drop. I am in on this play, willing to jump in on it, of course. And let's see, as long as we can stay underneath 450, 451, that's a good sign. So if we can stay underneath 451 here, traders, I will like it. Now, best entry would be back up near 451. So, like the 450-90s. 450-90s, that would be like best entry. So I'm trying to figure out when is this going to turn? And it seems like we finally had a trend line crack. Finally looks like we cracked the channel. Finally looks like we have some good weakness. And can we fall and fade back on down underneath that VWAP and actually start getting a little bit more of that fade now? This is, again, November 17th expirations, which gives me a little bit more time as well. Gives me until Friday. Here it comes back up to 451. Gonna look to add right here. All right, guys, I'm doing 100 contracts here. 100 contracts on the SPY. Cost basis is going to be right around 450.80. And let's see if we can, maybe slowly fade ourselves back on down. Deck, how long are you going to hold this for? As long as it stays underneath 451, I'll be a happy camper. As long as it stays underneath 451, I'll be a happy camper. If it goes back above 451, again, I'm not going to hold in hope. I'm just going to get out, rip off the Band-Aid, and move on. That's the way you have to trade. You have to trade until you say, all right, you know what? Rip off the Band-Aid, rip off the Band-Aid, rip off the Band-Aid, and then you'll nail one big one. That's kind of how it comes on down to stock trading sometimes. If you're not right, rip off the Band-Aid, rip off the Band-Aid, rip off the Band-Aid, and then you'll nail a big one. So having 100 contracts over on this play. Right now, I got just around $30,000 in on this trade. It's about a $30,000 trade at this time. And, you know, what would be a good return on this play? I would like to be able to see like four grand. 4 grand. See a nice little, you know, drop back on down, fade back down towards the VWAP. And if we get a little crack underneath the VWAP, low 450s. Like the low 450s would pay out 4 grand. And then obviously if we actually do start getting that turn and that shift of momentum, you know, that's where everything, you know, will start paying. I mean, this could be a $12,000 day if we actually start seeing some sort of drop. If we actually start going down to 449, 448, we could be able to make, you know, $15,000 today. But it would be, you know, the SPY, we need this 451 to basically hit, touch, reverse, drop back on down towards again some bottom. Show that this is getting a little bit weaker. If it starts popping right back up to 451.10, 451.15, it's just not worth it for me to hold because I gotta be able to have some sort of stop loss. It's not worth me losing 5 grand over and when I can just jump in whenever I want later on. You know what I mean? So I always like to just be ready. A little bit of a bounce back on up. Guys, probably gonna have to get out of this one if this one does not go back underneath here soon. And that's the thing, I want to preach having quick, tight stop losses. Quick, tight stop losses. If this one does not do, excuse me, what you want. Nope, still holding. Gonna get out of this one, guys. Still holding, gonna get out of this one. It's not doing what I want it to. No reason for me to just keep on holding just to potentially lose. So we get a little pullback here for a second. Nope, all right, not looking like it. Guys, out. Got to rip off my band-aids where they can. Now, Dek, you just lost 2 trades in a row. Now, what's the point? Now, what do you do? Now, I don't trade until probably lunchtime. You know, if I take 2 trades in a row that I both lose on, now I usually sit out for about 2 hours. Now I usually sit out for about 3 hours because I don't want to, again, just randomly keep jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out. So usually that's always my limit. That's usually my strategy. If I lose 2 trades in a row from jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out, I usually say, hey, give it, you know, give yourself 2 hours, Dek. Wait until consolidation happens. Take a step back. The last thing you want to do is jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, and then all of a sudden you're down 4 or 5 grand just from, again, taking little hits, little wins, little hit, little hit, little hit, little hit. That just keeps building on up. So I just took 2 losses in a row. Whenever I have big account trading, 2 losses in a row, I take a step back and I say, let it consolidate. Let it do what it wants. Give it again 30 minutes, give it an hour, give it an hour and a half, wait for a new high of the day, wait for a crack on down to the VWAP, then jump in. But don't try to time anything else. So that's how I always think about my stock trading, especially when I'm trading my bigger account, just because it's not worth it to me. I have too much money on the line. Now, I know, again, taking a $2,000 loss, it's definitely like, oh, wow, $2,000, that's a lot of money. I definitely get that. But at the same time, yesterday, we made $3,500. So you need to understand your wins are going to be much bigger than your losses. You know, my win today, when I try to nail this, you know, main play, is going to hopefully be a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 win. That's going to be the idea. Makes back the 2 grand plus 5 grand. So S&P 500 at this moment, team. I do want to take a little bit of a step back over on this play. It is getting a little bit weaker, which is a good sign. But, you know, we are starting to see more dropping, more fading at this moment. And we will, again, continue to keep our eyes peeled over on this play to kind of see what's going next. Now, if you are jumping in on this play, as long as we stay underneath 451, that's going to be the best case scenario. As long as we stay underneath 451. Now, if it goes back above 451, again, you got to get out. You got to move on. It's not worth it to hold as long as it's above 451. Okay? So S&P 500 here, team. It really is that way to trade it. As long as you are above 451, it's not worth holding. If you are in on this play and it's underneath 451, it is worth trading. Dek, can I jump in right now? You definitely can. Stop loss, 451. At one point, I don't know what point it's going to be. We are going to crack 451 and we won't see 451 again. I don't know what point it's going to be, but there will be a point that we crack 451 and we don't see 451 again, and we're down to 450 and we're down to 449. But that's obviously the tricky part about stock trading. So we'll see what we have here. Sacred Dek, how do you decide to use the EMA? I see the 9 and also people using the 13. To be honest, put a 9 and 13 EMA right next to each other. Barely any difference whatsoever. Like, there's barely any difference whatsoever at all. Taft, Dek, you're going to be correct. Keep on holding. Your range is just too tight. I get what you mean, saying, oh, Deck, you know, you can't have just 10-cent losses or 10-cent stops. I'm just, again, I want to keep it so tight here. I'm trying to really kind of show off as in discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. I got in underneath 451. I want to see a dump, right? That's basically like where I'm thinking at this moment. Also, again, small account, we are in the green. Remember, anything underneath 451 on the small account, we will be making money on. Guys, we are starting to get a little bit weaker. Watching to see if that one is going to fade. Seeing again. Deck, can this again fall? Can this fade? Can this keep on dropping? Can this keep getting that weakness and keep going lower and lower and lower and lower? Guys, let's see here over on the S&P 500. S&P 500. If this thing starts fading on off, I might have to do a little bit of work. Guys, S&P 500. Here comes on down to the VWAP. VWAP opportunity, guys. So this is kind of what I'm talking about, where we are underneath 451. If we start cracking underneath this VWAP, and really, traders, when we think about this, let's kind of think about this right now. Get rid of this blue line. Just have this very top right here. If we just turn your head away for a second. Turn your head away. Bring your head back. If we take a look at the trend line has cracked so far, hasn't it? Hasn't the trend line gone from bullishness, bullishness, bullishness to straight bearishness? That's what the trend line has done so far. The trend line has gone from bullishness side to now all bearishness side as that trend line has cracked. Now remember, I tried to do a little bit something right here, popped on up, then we had a nice pullback. Here's a little pop on up. Here's a nice, little drop. Now again, are we going to get a little pop on up before the crack of the VWAP? That's kind of the next thing right here. But in a bigger scale, you guys can realize we are at this moment bullish on this side. Bullish right here. And then as you guys know, we are starting to lead towards the bearish side. Bearish side over here. So bullishness and bearishness. You guys can basically see how this is, working out at this time. So, obviously everything's always easier to understand when you have a visual, right? When you have a visual and you can say, okay, hey, yeah, this makes a lot more sense. Hey, yeah, this is a lot easier to see. So again, SPY, bullish and bearish chart. Crack of the VWAP, guys. That's where I think we're going to go back on down to 450. Crack of the VWAP, back on down underneath 450. Let me ask you guys a question right now. Who is in right now? Who's in right now with, again, a stop loss at 451 saying, Deck, I'm looking for the VWAP crack. Deck, I'm in right now, 451 stop loss, looking for this to crack all the way down to 450, and I'm actually holding for a long time. Anyone in on that right now looking for that drop? That is a good trade, and I like that a lot if you guys are in on it. If you crack the VWAP, you're going to be sitting absolutely pretty at this moment, traders. Crack of the VWAP, you are going to be sitting absolutely pretty at this time. See this thing continuously fading and falling and dropping. But right here, traders, notice the VWAP is kind of like the tough area right now. The VWAP is the tough area. Needs to crack the VWAP, and you guys will be good. So if you're holding right now, get that VWAP crack, and you'll be perfect. But it needs to get that VWAP crack. Stay underneath 451. Make sure you guys are all set there, guys. A little bit of a bounce. Notice that bounce that's starting to happen at this moment. Right at that area. Excuse me. And, yeah, as you know, it just comes on down to getting that little bit of a crack here. Deck, you going to jump back in on this play? I'm thinking about it. I'm right there. I'm right there at the moment, team. So I'll be honest with you. I like this. As long as it stays underneath 451. Now, I will say this, though. If you go back above 451, do not hold it. Okay? If you bounce off this VWAP and you go all the way back above 451, it is not worth holding. You want to see that VWAP crack and you want to see a fade over lunch. Okay? That's the goal for everyone right now. So the game plan at this moment is basically this. Number one, you have just gone from bullishness to bearishness. Number two, we are now again fading on down, which is a good sign. Number three, stay underneath 451. And number four, crack the VWAP. That's your target. That's your goal. We have top here. We have top here. We have, again, possible top coming on up at 450.90. So 450.90, 451 is going to be your top target. Break of this area, that's where, again, this thing starts spiking its way on up. So traders, notice what we have right here. A little bounce off the VWAP. Bouncing off the VWAP, starting to spike all the way back up to 451. So this is kind of the troubling thing about this play. You know, that VWAP area, it has to crack for you guys to get your next leg on down. If it cracks, 451 or the VWAP, that's where the next leg on down is. Let's see what happens here. Breaks of 451, guys. It might squeeze all the way back up towards the high of the day. So please, 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 please be careful. I only say these things because I love you guys. It's not, sometimes it's like, oh, Dek's telling me to get out of the play because, he wants all the profits to himself. It's like, guys, there's more than enough money for everyone. I'm just telling you, if it goes above that red line, there's a chance it's going to squeeze on up towards, highs that you do not want to be holding. Jalen, what's your stop on your small account? Probably if we start seeing like 452, 40 plus. Now remember, I got a 7-day expiration, so I have more than enough time. I have a 7-day expiration on that play. Traders, here comes this area. I mean, it's nice to see that the SPY is doing its best to hold its gains. It's nice to see that the SPY is, holding, the SPY is trying to hold on up, but we just got to kind of kill it. What's going to be that one day? What's going to be that one drop? What's going to be that one moment that's going to make every single person say that the ride is over? Is it going to be falling from 451 all the way down to 448? What's going to be that one day, that one drop, that one move that's going to say, hey guys, we just spiked up 8% on the day. Yeah, it looks like it's over today. So that's what traders are looking for. That's what put traders are looking for. That's what shorters are waiting for. What's that one move that's going to kill everything off and everyone's going to say, this one's done? So we'll keep our eyes peeled on this. We still got another about 40 minutes. Looks like the SPY is going to try to get a little bit of a pop here once again, guys. It looks like the SPY is actually going to try to get a little bit of a pop back above 451. As you guys can see, this thing is still just trying to hold itself on up. I'm just sitting back right now. I want to wait until like 12 o'clock or until this thing starts, turning. S&P 500, nice red candle. Guys, nice trend line confirms that there is here. But, as you guys can see, for anyone that's just listening for the first time as well, I'm not here to push my opinions on you. I'm not here to say, do this. Do that, do this, do that. I'm here to just be 100% neutral. Have you guys have a good time, throw in a couple laughs every now and then, and have you guys be able to learn and be able to say, all right, hey, he's saying this is what he sees at the moment. I'm telling you what I see. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I'm seeing at this moment and where I would get in or where I would get out. Right now, when I take a look over on the S&P 500, as long as it stays underneath 451, I think it's a decent play. If it goes above 451, I think buyers are going to try to move on in. Right now, we are considered more on the bearish side of this trend line, though, which is a great sign. We do have the VWAP. Now, from this, all this stuff that I'm telling you at this moment, you can start figuring out your own game plan. All right, hey, Dek, maybe I want to wait until maybe one more break of 451, then maybe look for puts, or maybe I just want to wait for the crack of the VWAP for puts so I know it's done. I'm going to hold for the next few days. I know, again, that the S&P 500 has been consistently moving itself on up every time. It looks like it's about to crack. It bounces back on up, so maybe I'm going to sit back a little bit. Here's a 451 crack. Here comes a little bit of the spike. So traders, it's like, these are all things. I'm not trying to push any opinions or tell you what to do. I'm just trying to give you the overall outlook of this play, the overall outlook of what traders are thinking at this moment. So right now, everyone, if I were you, sit on your hands a little bit. Let's give this day 20 more minutes, 25 more minutes, and try to figure out, the next move. Let's watch for this next move. Let's figure out the next game plan. Let's figure out the next spike. But, as I said, you got to follow my rule. My rule is if I lose 2 times in a row, that's where I start getting more emotional. If I get 2 times in a row, oh, I just lost 1,000. Oh, I just lost 1,000. Okay, let me just jump back in. No, you don't want to do that. Don't just jump back in. Don't just say, all right, hey, let's go full force. Let's go on tilt, right? You guys play poker. You know what on tilt means? It means you don't care. I'll put all my money in and hopefully something good happens, right? You got to always kind of take a little bit of a step back, figure it out, go ahead. Hey, there's been times before, guys, I've gone on tilt, and guess what? You take some big losses. You don't want to be on tilt. Not in the stock market. S&P 500 traders. Deck, don't you think it's better to wait for confirmation? I mean, the confirmation would be if you fall underneath the VWAP. That would be great confirmation that you are going to start getting weaker underneath the VWAP. So yes, that could be great confirmation. Fall underneath the VWAP and go from there. Right now, the S&P 500 still trying to hold up its gains, and it is right above that 451 mark. Being right above that 451 mark, obviously, again, traders are trying to push this thing on up and possibly run it all the way up towards a new target. I am not in on anything at this time. I am sitting back on my hands at this moment, not in on anything at this time. Sitting back, waiting and watching. Sitting back, waiting and watching. No trades for me right now, team. When I jump in, I'll definitely let you guys know. But I am going to be, I am nervous that it's going to still spike itself on up. 351's being a little stubborn. We're still green on the day right here. So give it some time. We'll get that drop. Don't you worry, guys. We'll nail the drop. SPY's starting to get a little bit weaker here. We'll see if the SPY can fall back underneath that, downtrend. Where it looks like it's starting to fade. It looks like it's starting to get that downtrend. It looks like it's starting to get that weakness. It looks like it is ready to go, doesn't it? It looks like to me like it wants to fall. It wants to fade. It looks like it came on up to 451.40ish. Could be that potential high. It's just, it's hard to know the exact top. But once that momentum starts shifting, should make our lives a lot easier. Guys, here comes a little bit of that drop. Guys, are we finally starting to get a little bit of that drop? Are we finally starting to get a little bit of that fade? Are we finally starting to get a little bit of that weakness? Are we finally starting to see a little bit of that sell-off here? Guys, we're coming back on down to the VWAP once again. Back on down towards the VWAP once again. 451 was clearly rejected, which is good news. 451 clearly rejected. Good news. The entry that I would look to do, guys, is going to be S&P 500. I would do November 17th, just so you can hold it throughout lunch hours today, and you would have an opportunity to hold it overnight tonight if you wanted to. And I would do probably a 451 strike price, putting yourself in the money right away, so you actually do have value on your contracts already. So the contracts that I would be doing would be 451, have value on your contracts in the money. And then crack of the VWAP, we'd be looking for that sell-off. We'd be looking for that fade all the way back on down. So let's see, guys. Here comes another VWAP touch. And I feel like every trader is waiting for the same thing. Is the VWAP, some people are going to look for calls and bounce plays. Other traders are going to be saying to themselves, okay, hey, crack of this area. That's where we start falling. Now, remember, I am in on my small account as well. So that small account's going to continuously grow. Anything underneath 451, which is kind of like that big number that we talked about. So we want to see this nice sell-off, this nice drop, this nice weakness. And once you go underneath the VWAP, I think that will be an amazing sign that things could start fading underneath the VWAP. Because underneath the VWAP, team, that's kind of the sign. It's like, all right, hey, bulls, right? Bulls are going to start getting weaker. You got back above the VWAP on a day that people weren't really sure what's going to be happening. It held, it went on a nice little run. Underneath the VWAP, I think you're going to test it a little bit, and then you're going to fall all the way back down towards like 450 by the end of the day. So the S&P 500 here, traders, we are consistently keeping our eyes peeled over on this one, and we are still just kind of in that little bit of that demand zone where it's trying to stay alive, but how much longer can it stay alive? What do you guys think? Do you guys think we pop back above 451? Or do you guys think that, Deck, this is slowly the end? This is slowly the beginning of the end. It's kind of like a brain twister. It's slowly the beginning of the end. But right now, traders, the S&P 500, 451. We know it's that tippity top area. Deck, every single time you say the word VWAP, it moves back up. They're listening. They're listening. Let's see if it works. VWAP. All right, every time I say that word, green candles come. What's the downward? What's the downward? We got to figure out how do I make it go down? How do I make it go down? We have a couple little, still a little downtrend here. Back above 451, we squeeze, guys. If you guys are interested on some calls, I know there's some people here that are some maniacs. All right, I know there's some maniacs in this chat room that are saying, Deck, if this goes back above 451, I'm doing calls. Deck, back above 451, I'm squeezing everyone out. Jumping on this play, squeezing them all on out. People will do that. Right now, the way I see this play is I see it like this. Wedge. This is what I see in my mind when I take a look at this play. So that's what I would say. Keep your eyes peeled on. Wedge setup. Looking for this thing to be able to drop on down here. If we do break back above 451, it squeezes all the way back up towards a new high. So the S&P 500 here, team. Wedge setup. We'll see how long this takes before it does get a little bit of a drop, and we'll sit here for a little bit, see what we do. But we know what we're looking for at this moment. We got the wedge setup at this time, and if we can, go another 20 minutes or so, I'll jump in on this one. But we got to, I want to give myself some time to kind of, recoup, get myself in the better direction, do what I need to do to come out green. But what is nice is when you take a look at the S&P 500 over on the daily chart. When you take a look over on the S&P 500 over on the daily chart, what can you guys really see here? You guys can see we do have top resistance right here. And you guys can see we do have top resistance right here. And you guys can see we do have a lot of top resistance, right around this area right here. Can you guys, all see and all tell that this is a pretty nice platform area? And what I mean by a platform, it seems like on the daily chart here, all right, and I'll extend this, try to make this a little bit bigger. You guys can see on the daily chart, we do have a lot of top, drop, top, drop, top, drop, top. Even we could flip this around and you could say there's even some bottoms here. Right? Would you guys say that there's even some bottoms? Bottom, bottom. So, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, Deck, do you think it's a bad entry to do a 451, entry with, again, a strike price, next week? Or, excuse me, an expiration date next week? You might go up to 452 today. You might go up to 453 today. But it's like, we are at an entry that we have hit and we have fallen $40. We have hit, we have fallen $25. We have spiked 8%. Traders, it's like one of those entries where I know we cannot nail it perfectly, but it's one of those entries where it just makes sense to pull the trigger and to not be scared so quickly about it. It's one of those entries that you can say to yourself, man, this is a gift. This is prime location. This is prime real estate right here. That's how I see it. Can it go up towards, again, 451 today? Yes. Can it go up to 452 today? Yes. Could it hit a new high of the day today? The answer is yes. But I think that this is prime location over on an S&P 500 put contract. Hold it for a few days and see this thing drop. I do think this is prime location where traders are going to say to themselves, hey, I wish I got in at the 450s. Oh, yeah, it's at 446 right now. Oh, yeah, I got in at 451. Oh, I got in at 456. I do think that these are prime locations. So take that how you want it. Take that how you want it at the moment, traders. But over the next day, 2 days, 3 days, things could start getting very, very weak. very, very quickly. And right now, we are currently hitting that VWAP area. And let's see what happens at that VWAP mark. Let's see what happens at this VWAP mark right now. Let's see if this is going to start getting weaker. Let's see if this is going to start getting a drop. Also, again, small account is going to be sitting up in profit at this moment, which is nice. And yeah, guys, I just kind of have to stick to it there. Stick to my gut on that one. Guys, here's the nice little fade, nice little crack, guys. We're starting to test that VWAP so closely at this moment. VWAP is trying. VWAP is trying. I want to refresh this here for a second, try to get that VWAP all the way across. Hold on a second. My trade idea is being a little bit slow. I'm going to refresh this here for a moment. Don't give me issues now, trade ideas. All right, right now at this moment, guys, I can't get just kind of out of nowhere right there. I'm not getting any charting over on my trade ideas. So we are watching the level 2. Watching the level 2, but I don't have any charting at this moment over on my trade ideas. I seem to have lost connection on trade ideas right here. So hopefully that comes back here in a jiffy. Hopefully that comes back here in a jiffy. Trade ideas is down right now, Deck. A couple people having issues with trade ideas. Awesome. Okay, guys, here comes a little bit of a crack that we can't see. I'm gonna bring over a different bar here. How do I change this? I mean, let's just go right here. Guys, here's a little bit of a chart right now, so we can keep our eyes peeled on this. Here's a little bit of a sell-off here. Here's a little bit of a dump. Guys, we are starting to dump here really nicely. We are starting to dump here very nicely, guys, over on the S&P 500. Starting to get a very nice crack, starting to get a very nice dump. Just came on down towards, again, the price of 450.20 now. So we are starting to see this thing starting to fade all the way back on down, 450.20. Very nicely at this moment. Still seeing this weakness. Can we go all the way to sub 450? That would obviously be the goal at this time, to see this thing still getting weaker. So see if this thing can get weaker. See if this thing can drop. Now, as long as we stay underneath, that is where we are going to start seeing that nice fade. But right here, team, we have a lot of weakness at this moment over on this play. And congratulations to those that are in on this play at this moment, seeing this thing fade, seeing this thing get weaker, seeing this thing drop all the way back on down at this time. I am in on a small trade over on my side as well. Just a heads on up, I am in on this because we are finally getting this drop all the way back on down towards these lows. I would like to try to get myself all the way back into the green today if I could. That would be the magic goal here. So that would be the magic goal. Guys, we are getting weaker over on this play. So this is my trade that I'm in on at this moment. I jumped in on 110 contracts on the put side, cracking that area. Now I'm still in on the red at this moment because of my loss from earlier. So I still am in on the red, but we are looking to go back into the green at this time and see this thing, fade all the way back on down. So if this thing can crack all the way on down towards 450 and lower, kind of get that big drop, that would be best case scenario. So guys, good job so far. Getting ourselves all the way back on down. Still seeing this weakness here. Still seeing this drop. Underneath the 450s is obviously absolutely excellent. And we're looking for underneath the 450 area. Crack 450. Keep on fading all the way back on down. Now, traders, if you plan on just doing it as a day trade, if this goes underneath 450, you probably want to lock something up. If this goes underneath 450, you probably want to lock in some gains if you're just doing a day trade. Just because 450 is probably going to be the next area of strong support. It's going to be like the next bounce play area. So just a little heads on up, you probably will see some sort of bounce plays right around that 450 mark. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been in from, again, 451. A lot of you guys have been in from, guys, look at this. Nice drop. Nice drop. Nice fade. Guys, we're going all the way, guys. Here we go. Look at this. All the way back on down towards that 450 area. Can we crack underneath it? Can we crack underneath this 450 area? That is gorgeous so far. Look at this thing dump. Look at this thing sell on off. This is gorgeous at this time. And this is, again, the big-time sell-off that we wanted to see. 450 will be a natural support line at this moment. Natural support line at this time, trying to hold itself on up. If we crack 450, that's where this next big sell-off will be happening, which will be absolutely awesome. But it is going to have to hold this a mark at this moment. Traders, at this time, I'm actually going to sell this right here. I'm going to sell it right here at this moment, just so I can get myself back to almost even on the day. So, you know, I was down $2,000. Now, again, I'm sitting down $600. So, if you're saying, Deck, how are you only down $600? I made 547. I lost 980 and lost 247. So I was down over $2,000 today. I was down over $2,200 and was just able to recoup the majority of my losses, only down $600 now. So now we're on the good flow of things. Now, again, we're working ourselves back into it. I think our charts are back on up. All right, cool. So our charts are back on up now. So now, again, we are getting ourselves back to where we want. So this is kind of what I'm talking about, traders. Can everyone see what I'm talking about? Deck, you lost. Deck, you lost. Deck, you won. And you just made it all back almost, right? How great is that? How great is that one trade, being correct one time, is able to make back our multiple losses? That's what's so awesome. So the thing is, this is so great to be able to see. And also, let's not forget, guys, small account right now is banking. Small account right now, I'm leaving that until probably next Wednesday. Small account right now, who's in on their small account at their moment saying, Deck, I just doubled my account. Deck, I'm up 40% of my account. Deck, I'm up 30%. I want to turn that $1,000 by next Wednesday into $5,000, $6,000. That's my goal. So we are still dropping all the way back on down, and this is what I want to see. I want to see every single person make this money here. So great job at this time. Levy saying, Deck, you broke your own rule. Now you're revenge trading. I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you. Respectfully, of course. Traders, who thinks at this moment that I am revenge trading just to make back the loss that I had from earlier? Does anyone think I'm revenge trading? Or is it, hey, Deck, you took 2 losses earlier, you sat back, then you waited for the VWAP crack, then you waited for the drop on down, then you jumped in when momentum started shifting. There's a difference between what I'm doing and revenge trading. Revenge trading is when you lose, and then you say, fuck it, I don't care, I'm buying whatever I want. Lose. That's revenge trading. What is not revenge trading? Revenge trading is, I lost. All right, guys, let's give me a little bit of time here. All right, let's see if we can break the VWAP here, guys. Hey, no entries. If it goes back above 451, not worth it. Breaking the VWAP, we might want to jump in. Hey, guys, it just broke the VWAP. Okay, I'm going to give it a chance. I think there's a difference between what I just did and revenge trading. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, look at the sell-off right here. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the dump we're starting to get. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen. I don't even want to look at the small account right now. I'm too nervous to look at the small account. What do you guys think the small account is up to at this moment? What do you guys think the small account is up to at this time? What do you guys think the small account's up? I don't even want to look at it. I'm nervous though. All right, I'm going to give it a little peek, but I'm not telling you guys. I'm going to give it a little peek. It's loading up at this moment. It's loading up at this time. It's looking good. Small account's looking good, guys. Small account's looking good at the moment. Oh, whew. Small account's looking good. Who else jumped in with me at the 451s? Is anyone else in with me on the small account at 451s today? Anyone say, hey, Deck, I understand the game plan. I understand the idea. I understand what you're looking for today. Deck, I'm with you. Awesome. Deck, I got out at 151 because you looked like you were being paranoid. I was paranoid at 451. It was really frustrating. Okay? So at 451, guess what happened? We came on up, we came underneath. 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 We came on up, and then we finally cracked the VWAP, and there you go. There's your sell-off. But now at this point, I do think at this point, it's going to be a very slow grind, lower and lower and lower. At this point, it's going to be a nice slow grind over the next, few bit. So good job, everyone over on the puts. Good job. So ready to rock and roll. Ready to get after it. Again, my trade, let's go, baby. I had a 446 strike price. So my strike price is at 446. It's not at 451. So that's maybe probably why your math is off. I cannot afford 9 contracts at the strike price of 451. I can afford 9 contracts at the strike of 446. Yeah. So if you're like 451, Deck, this is like $4,000. No, again, I went far out of the money. And now as I get closer to the money, it makes more and more and more and more and more money as it gets closer. This is a great question. This is a great question right here. So let's go over this. This question that I just got. Claire, can you turn off the music for this question? Yeah, turn it to the left. To the left. Turn it the other way. Turn the other way, Claire. The other, yes. Thank you. Yes, that way. Yes. Get a little scotch tape and put an arrow. Volume up this way, volume down that way. Okay. So, great question that just came on out. Okay, so the question that we have at this moment that we want to be talking about here is it too late to jump in? Okay? Great question. Is it too late to jump in on the S&P 500? Is it too late? Deck, did I just miss out on the drop that we have been waiting for 10 days? And the answer is no. It is not too late. It is not even close to too late. For if you think that it is too late, guys, for you to understand this, for you guys to be able to break this down just a little bit easier and be able to kind of get this mindset, is the S&P 500 has now been spiking for 12 days. We have gone from 408 to 420 to 440 all the way up to 450. We have now spiked for 8%. Do you think anyone would say that right here, traders, that it's too late? This is where we are at right here. Deck, did I miss the drop? The answer is no. You missed that current drop, but you didn't miss the drop. The drop is going to be all the way back down to 445. The drop is going to be when it crashes all the way back down to 443, probably on like Friday or so. So do I think that you again missed an opportunity? Sure, you might have missed a cracking opportunity here, but you didn't miss the sell-off. We are literally at 450 still. We are at, again, a very strong resistance line. So you missed a small opportunity, but you did not miss the sell-off. Okay? So just understand that. So Deck, what's the next step here? The next step is I am going to be done for lunch hours right now. At this moment, I'm slightly in the red on my big account, and I'm up pretty solid over on my small account. Okay? I am going to take a step back for lunch hours, and most likely what I'm going to be doing is, depending where this closes on off, if we start seeing this momentum shift to the downside, I am going to be jumping in over on my big account for a swing trade on the put side. Okay? That's my goal. Is I want to do a swing trade on the put side. That's what I would love. Can I guarantee it's going to happen? No, but I would love to jump in tonight, see that momentum's finally turning, be in at the 450s, and we wake up tomorrow and we're at 448. Then again, we fade on down to 446 tomorrow. Something along those lines. And I know, again, you've heard that before. I know you heard it's, oh, Decca, I know you want to jump in and then you're not going to. It does come down, I'm being honest with you, it comes down to what we look at the end of the day. It does come down to what price we're at the end of the day. So I can't guarantee it, but that is what I would like to do on my large account. My small account, I'm holding this until next Wednesday, most likely. My small account, guys, I'm holding that until probably, again, next Monday, no matter what. So, but that's going to be, our goal here. What's our price target for your small account? Probably 100% return. I would like to double my account. So, right now, I'll be honest, guys, I'm up about 30% on my trade. I would like to be able to make a 100% return on this trade. so that you guys will be all set, ready to go. All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who has joined us on this day, everyone who has been part of this day here today, I just want to say thank you so much. You guys are fantastic. You guys are absolutely awesome. And to be honest, guys, I've had an absolute blast with you. I hope you guys have had some fun. I hope you guys have been able to make some money. And I hope you guys have learned a lot. And what I want you guys to do at this moment is I want you guys to click that thumbs on up. I want you guys to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And I want you guys to get ready for Black Friday coming on up next Thursday. Thanksgiving, Black Friday. The first 100 people who sign up get 40% off. The next 100 people get 35% off. And then after that, it's 30% off for the rest of the weekend. So ladies and gentlemen, you guys better be ready to rock and roll for the biggest sale of the year starting next Thursday on Thanksgiving. I will be live every single day until Thanksgiving. So you guys are stuck with me for the next week straight. I'm only going to be doing morning commentary over on YouTube and TikTok. Full commentary this afternoon will be for Tradecaster. So make sure that you guys are all set. But yep, I'm on tradecaster.com every single day. Make sure you guys get on over here. And I just want to say again, thank you so much for all the traders who have joined us on this day, and we'll be all set, ready to rock and roll. Let's get ready to wrap this thing on up. Baby, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on earth. So pumped, so happy, so excited to have each and every single one of you guys here. And let's help me wrap it on up. Claire, throw on something good for the squad. Throw on something good to make them feel good on this absolutely beautiful Wednesday on the money that they made, that they deserve. Let's do it, baby. Let's wrap it on up. Woo! Traders, have a good one. Help me wrap it on up now. In 3, 2, 1.
In the club with my homies, tryna get a little VI. Down on the low. She know how it feels. I saw the shorty, she was checking up on me. From the game, she was spitting in my ear. You would think that she knew me. Decided to cheat. Conversation got heavy. She had me feeling like she's ready to blow. Watch out! She's saying, come get me. So I got up and followed her to the floor. She said, baby, let's go. When I told her, I said, Shorty got down. She said, come and get me. I got so caught up, I got she told me. Her and my girl used to be the best of all me. Next thing I knew, she was all up on me screaming. She's all up in my head now. Got me thinking that it might be a good idea to take her with me. She's ready to leave. Well, let's go. But I gotta keep it real now. Cause on the 1 to 10, she's a certified 20.